Oh, there we go. It's an air horn. All right, y'all. So for our
Jason Denver, I'm gonna die.
we'll do. I need to do post production. Um, so this is our little. We'll call it a podcast because that's what we're calling it. But really, it's just a recording that we're gonna put on YouTube or some stupid shit and go from there. So I am Dustin. I am your commissioner since 2014, 15, 14, something like 14. That. I'm Dustin. I am joined by Derek, who's been a long time friend of mine since before this league. Derek, if you'd like to chime in for a second, introduce yourself to the league.
So, I'm Derek. Joined a little bit late to the league, not an original founder. Long-time Jets fan.
Hold on, late? Right. You joined like 1 year into the league system.
Yeah, two years into the league. So I'm a late joiner. I'm not an OG. Not this time. And known Dustin for a while. League winner, running back truther. All right, and I hate wide receivers. So there you go.
Yeah. And I believe joining us at least today, possibly in the future as well, is going to be Devon, who joined about a year after Derek did as well. An old co-worker of mine from Virginia, Devon.
Yeah. Worked for Dustin. He's terrible. And then he invited me to the league with the promise of beating him eventually and figured perfect. And then got one lick in, but otherwise it's been mostly trash. I don't have any disdains other than JJ McCarthy's trash, but I think that's just a collective hatred. I'm a Chiefs fan.
Call him by his street name. All right, we call him 9 around these parts.
Yeah, it might be the 9th guy cut off the roster this year. But I don't watch college football, so Dynasty is weird in that context. Because I don't know who the fuck any of these people are.
But you don't like... You're not familiar with rookies? I couldn't tell going off this last draft.
Oh, wait.
I just couldn't tell.
Maybe you should do some scouting, you know? Get out there, watch some college ball, watch some
Yeah. I mean, you just need to scout more, man. Like, honestly, you just need to watch more college ball. So yeah, we're gonna, I guess, start this off with a brief introduction of what's going on with the history in general of the league, but we'll talk about that later. But really, we want to dive into the meat and potatoes of this, which is just reviewing the draft that happened, and then as we do more of these podcast recordings, we'll take it in different directions until the season begins. So, league, for those unaware, started off as an 8-man group. It was no PPR, standard ass league, 8 people, all coworkers in the same building. None of us knew a damn lick about fantasy football, I don't think. And we're technically joined actually by Oyola, who is lurking in the shadows here, who won the first season. There he is. But he's all dead to us now, so he's not allowed to talk. The dead don't speak here.
He robbed you guys year one, is what it sounds like.
I don't like rookies.
Yeah, that's why he bailed. But yeah, so it was an 8-person or an 8-manager league. That was back when scoring was done, when 10 yards was 1 point and not 1 yard was 0.1 points. To give you an idea of how long ago that was. You know, we moved on from 8 to 10, hoping to widen the field. We lost some people from the work center, and we began inviting people that I knew, which has had mixed success throughout the years. I think the majority of the people that have joined this league the majority have been friends of mine or people that knew me personally. Like half of them are solid ads, and the other half are trash. So, Miller and Kinter, one of you is going to be solid, one of you is going to be trash. We'll figure that out.
I have a guess on which one is which.
Give a lot of credit offering one.
But yeah, I think that was the year that we had some folks, and then And Derek and Zach and Frank joined us afterwards. Dave was with us originally. He's the only other OG here. I think were you the year with the next year, Devon? And there was a whole host of people from infrastructure from there.
I replaced a short dude from the office. His name I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, and then it's kind of expanded since then. You know, we dipped our toes into, we got the 12, and then we dipped our toes into trying keepers for a whole like
Yeah,
not
Keepers
even 2
years,
years, like a
wasn't
year
it?
and a half or some shit, and we're like, this isn't quite what we're looking for. It's because ESPN didn't really. What I always wanted to do with keepers was to set it up so that where you drafted them is where you get to keep them, but ESPN was a garbage format, and it just wouldn't let me do that. And what ended up happening is you just kept somebody and they burnt your first round pick, and it's kind of fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah.
Good
old ESPN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But between that and then, the decision that we wanted to make this more real, we moved to Key Sleeper, and yeah, that's kind of our history. So we started off as just a small little work center one, and now we have people from all across the world. It was originally a strictly U.S. Air Force group. Everyone in the group was military. I'm confident there's only I guess with Kinter and Miller,
I think
there's a
you're
few
the
more.
only active one, aren't you?
No,
you and David?
with the recent additions, there's a couple more. I want to say
Okay.
Jacob, myself, Miller, and Kinter are the only active duty still.
I think Link is still enlisted, yeah.
Yeah, is Jacob still in Italy?
I don't know. I feel like it's been long enough.
He had to have moved by now, right?
Would
But his
think.
hours would imply that he's in Italy, because every time I reach out to the dude, it's within my time slot. So
Ironically, there are more people in this league, like significantly more people in this league, that have been stationed at Croughton than ever were stationed at Langley, let alone worked in 407.
besides the very beginning, you're right. Like Croughton is quite the second most, and it does not deserve that honor. It does not. This place is, anyways. But that's another subject on how I'm doing, I guess. So before we dive in, how have y'all been recently in general? Anything exciting happened this weekend?
I have my third grandkid last week.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Shit, man. I'm too old for this shit. As
You're
Danny Glover said many times.
Different. I gotta ask, different kids? Because I know you became a grandfather just a couple of years ago for the first time. So
yeah, that was the oldest. The oldest. So the oldest has 2 kids, and then it's second oldest, no kids. Third kid had their kid. So
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad. yeah, pretty much. So no, that's the excitement of my life is kids 24/7. So
yeah, I'd say it's good that you got it over with early, but you didn't, because your youngest is the same as my oldest.
Yeah, we're still going. My goal was to be done by the time I was 50. So 13 years, youngest will be 21.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're out, but if the second oldest is any indication, I'll have a few more years after that.
Yeah, this economy. How are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing well. I did sort out who I replaced, Jeremy. That took me a lot of sleuthing on Facebook. Not proud of it. Feel like an ex-girlfriend. But move on. I'm doing good, man. Mostly gardening, losing rounds of Tarkov this weekend. Wife's out of town for a wedding. I wasn't invited to. Just fucked up, but move on.
It's all right. It wouldn't have been fun anyways. Trust.
True. It was all women, so no. Well, sort of, but whatever. Outside of the groom, I suppose. But I digress. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Doing well.
Good to hear. How you liking Colorado these days?
Well,
because you moved there like right when we left, pretty much, just around.
Yeah, I timed it well. I was waiting for you to get the fuck out so I could find the guy. Yeah. Kansas kid, dude. So I mean, it's close enough. But you were living in Colorado Springs, weren't you?
Yeah.
Hellhole. Yeah, I didn't do that. So yeah, I made better decisions.
Wait, you think the Springs is a hellhole?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Zero
take.
hesitation.
That's a
yes,
take.
actually.
I mean, there's worse places to live, but I mean, it still sucks.
No,
I don't like Springs. It's cheap, which is, I guess, something. Yes, but I mean, it's cheap to live in a lot of terrible places.
All right.
Arkansas.
I feel like most people I talk to usually speak well of the Springs, so this is an interesting.
Yeah, Republicans. What are we talking?
Okay, well, okay, so I had a feeling this is where this is gonna go, and you're not. I mean, you're not wrong.
Definitely at least a slur to somebody.
I mean,
randomly. It's a good spot.
Because if there was one complaint I had about it, you had it, and yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful area. Yeah, like the outdoorsy stuff like that.
Just not the people.
Yeah, if you talk to anyone that's there, whatever. We're isolating our future Colorado Springs fans, so
because
we should talk good things about them.
Pueblo's a legit
on the internet. Good.
Yeah, they have good weather, I think.
Because it's possible I'm actually moving back there. Not as
the women are really pretty if you're blind, and that's
if you're white.
If you're blind.
Bless America.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Feel their face with your grimy ass hands. That'd be good.
All right, that's an interesting take. I get it. So we
I did not offer this.
Notice he did not say you were wrong. I just want to highlight that.
Why would watch the lie on the first stream? What's the point of that?
I am nothing if not honest with you all. We picked up we got a cat recently. He's been chilling with me. He might make an appearance soon. Merlin. He's a Maine Coon. He's already a big boy. And then I took my son to the Pokemon card convention. So that was good times. My parents get in town next week, so it's just getting ready for them.
Are you see you on a Pokemon card YouTube Shorts channel or something?
Probably, you might honestly they do the fucking thing with the cord and I'm here with the Dustin and he's bought this and that and this and for this and I'm like, all right, man, I don't know if we're
Did you offer a free slab to some kid or something or not?
My kid got free slabs.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the channel, dude. We're gonna brigade.
Probably.
We're gonna get 12 full views. It's gonna be great.
Probably. Yeah. It was. It wasn't the biggest thing. It wasn't. I don't know. Who knows if there's any celebrity there? But
no, it's on British YouTube. I'm not doing that.
Sorry.
I don't watch British people on YouTube.
My backyard's right there. I thought I saw something. It was a fucking bird. Whatever. All right.
I was about to say, I don't imagine you get very many large wild animals out there right now, Dustin.
Pheasants everywhere. I've tried not to kill them, but literally my road is littered with them. Every morning I go to work, there's 15 to 20 of these dumbass fucking birds just lined up on the road. And I guess they don't hear well or some shit. They literally account for 10% of the traffic, cars ran off the road in England are because of fucking pheasants. Because these stupid fucking birds, they can't hear shit, just walked on the road and just stand there. I've literally driven down the road and had one look at me and then run into the road. And then when I go to stop and curve over, it'll just fucking course correct. No, man, I'm fucking kill me. I'm fucking miserable.
Today is my last day, period. Free me from these earthly coils.
Absolutely. These things are...
It does track that pheasants would pollute England. It's like a posh-ass named bird. It just tracks that would be where they're at.
Yep.
Well, we have a multi-billionaire that owns the property that we live on and everything around us. Some arms dealer for Margaret Thatcher like 40 years ago. And this dude literally he lives in like I don't fucking know, Monaco or some not Monaco, fucking south of France. Forgive me. No,
Marseille.
Marseille. No, not Marseille. No, the actual no. I want to say Monaco. That's not.
Oh,
right.
like the Riviera or whatever it's called.
The French Riviera, Provence,
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Aquitania.
No.
Lyon, Nice.
Just calm your no.
Uh,
I mean, it's near Marseille. Monaco.
Oh,
Super rich, like cities,
Yeah.
country, right?
They have the race there, don't they?
Right, yeah. This dude like lives in Monaco. He's multi-billionaire. He only comes to England to shoot birds when he's bored, I guess. So his whole fucking
Get to
estate has just lines and lines of pheasant feed, and these things just are everywhere. And that's my curse. I get to kill a pheasant every other week, and I try not to. I really do, but whatever.
You at least get to eat them.
You know, we
Scrounge up
tried.
some
We last Christmas we decided we were gonna like, fuck it. We kill them every other week. Let's just see how they taste like. We didn't take roadkill, obviously. I'm not a barbarian, but we went to some local people who murder pheasants for a job, and sell
for
them.
fun.
Yeah,
Or profit.
and not a very good meat, honestly. Super tough, really gamey, kind of oily and fatty too. It just was not a pleasant to eat. And it dries out really quickly too, apparently. So you like layer that thing with fucking bacon, is what I was read online, and Lauren baked and everything, and roasted it, whatever. And it was juicy, but it was just nah. So my kid liked it though, surprisingly.
Oh, there you go. That's a win right there.
Yeah, let's give that shit to him. So on that note, let's talk about how this draft went.
Yeah.
So
what's our format this year? So this is the year we're switching to
we are
Superflex,
we
right?
are going to Superflex, and the general consensus, as I'm sure most of you are aware, is that it is highly encouraged to use a quarterback in the Superflex spot. We've kind of ran this through. Part of the reason why we run an additional league next to the Dynasty League is because I get to treat it like a little fucking guinea pig and invent new ways the wheel turns to make the guinea pig run. And usually quarterback is important. Now in that league it's not as important because it's only 10 people and not 12. If you're like Derek and can do the math, you'll quickly figure out that 12 plus 12 equals 24, and then when you want a third quarterback to slot in, you run out of them because there are not 36 teams in the league. So that's gonna be something that's gonna pop up eventually in this 12-man format. Is we're gonna have bye weeks where people are gonna be slotting in wide receiver threes for Superflex.
Running backs.
Right. I mean, you can obviously build a team around just using a good running back in that slot, and it can do well, but consistency usually goes to the quarterback. So it's a highly encouraged for quarterback. Everyone's probably has a good idea this is happening. We've been building up to it for 3 fucking years. Jesus Christ. It's nice it's finally arrived, because some of us planned on getting a quarterback three years ago. Definitely hurt our ability to compete right away, but sacrifices were made. So that is our format. Nothing else has changed. You still get the same amount of bench slots even. So essentially you've gained a spot to place a player, and we've been drafting Superflex honestly for like the past 2 years. I think the first year was kind of an in between, and then I think year 24 and 25 were definitely Superflex years, and that's why a running back went at 101 this year. So I still, looking at the draft, I still think that you could make the argument Mendoza could go 101 if you genuinely believe Superflex is the thing.
It wasn't the Raiders. Yeah. Like, if Mendoza had somehow ended up in LA, like the team where there's a coach that's respected when he's 1-on-1. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Bro, I would have taken Mendoza 101. I think he's going to be good. He's in a great situation, great new coach, and I think he's got the talent and the accuracy to make it worth it. Even on the Raiders being dog shit, right? Like, I think he's good enough. I don't actually wish this anymore, but I wouldn't have been upset if the Jets traded up and took him 1.01. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. Been in quarterback purgatory for fucking 50 years. Wait, when did we have name it? In the 60s?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're 60 years of quarterback purgatory.
I think Mendoza will be good, and I think you'll see it because Indiana's going to be dog shit this year, and I think the reason why
you don't think Little Bro's going to step up and keep the crown?
I think Indiana. I mean, they feel they're a decent team, but I think a lot of it was on the back of Mendoza. I mean, we've seen this in college before with like Elliott. He's not a Cam Newton level kind of player, but I think he's good enough to deliver the ball and do what the Raiders need him to do. I know Devon's gonna have. I don't have the biases against some of these teams because I don't have an NFL team. Right, my only real team is in college. I know Devon's not because of Mendoza because he does have the bias against the Raiders. But I do think Mendoza can be successful. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's still a rookie quarterback, and these things are just as likely to fucking fail, even at the 101, as they are to succeed. It feels like the first 10 picks, like 50-50 shot at being actually a good NFL quarterback.
Yeah, that's the other thing is about whether what classifies as a good NFL quarterback that also is relevant for fantasy. Like a lot of times,
top 24, a starting quarterback. That's the bar's low.
Yeah, but do you draft for a guy that is playing on a team and technically scoring points, or do you draft for? I mean, I know Frank doesn't draft for people that are scoring points, but in general, like most players,
Can we get a tally? I want a tally on the digs.
There's only one. We're one.
All right, yeah.
Hold on. Let me get the notepad up. I'm going to keep count.
We're going to get some kind of soundboard setting. It's like 1, 2, 3, and we'll just do like a finish them at the end. Yeah, I can see it, but I think everyone agrees Jeremiah Love at the 101 is fine. And we talked about doing this by team. So do you want to would you rather do that by Derek?
Since we're talking about Mendoza. Mendoza was taken by our league winner last year, Dave, who actually traded up into the 1.02. So Dave took Mendoza with the 1.2. He took Emmett Johnson on Kansas City with the 2.5. Ted Hurst in Tampa Bay with the 2.10. And then why did he take a kicker with the last pick?
He did what Zach couldn't and took a kicker to complete a team.
That's right.
Zach was too much of a pussy to actually take the kicker.
Coward.
I mean,
what do we think about? What do we think about Dave's draft with that? He's the league winner. His quarterback situation was
gruesome,
pretty dire, is what I would say. So the trade up makes sense.
Yeah, he traded away Lamar last year, so it failed out of Lamar, and then obviously ended up winning a championship in the end, and then traded this year James Cook for Fernando. And his quarterback situation outside of that is Tua, Mac Jones, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's good. Penix, Cousins, Ewers, and Milroe. So obviously stacked. He has more QBs than most teams have wide receivers at this point.
Does he have more quarterbacks than tight ends that Kinter has? That's the ultimate question.
Kinter and all of his tight end supremacy is actually not that.
He's not really. Ironically, yes, we'll touch on that later. But honestly, I think going off of like KTC
tight ends back to back in one draft.
I don't even think he's technically the number one prospect.
But yeah. He took Mendoza. Mendoza makes a lot of sense. He's on a team that has a solid rushing situation set up, and a new coach, they might be in a good spot.
So as a Chiefs fan, tell me about this Johnson pick. So Dave dropped Cook and CMC this offseason after winning,
both
and he's replacing them with Emmett Johnson. What's Emmett Johnson going to do with KW3 there right now? I mean, he'll get hurt, right? So he's going to get snaps eventually, but
as a Chiefs fan and someone who's like online a lot for Chiefs fandom, a lot of people like him. A lot of people like Emmett Johnson. A lot of people like Chiefs kind of been doing this thing where we rotate in mid running backs and then pretend like that's going to work out for us for years, and then hire. Well, I love Andy Reid. I can't say anything bad about Andy Reid, or I'll get murdered or something. But Andy's not exactly known for running the ball, and the concept is not that Mahomes doesn't get under center as much as a normal quarterback does either. But some of that's offensive line issues, whether they be injury or talent issues, especially on the left tackle and the right tackle as well. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm hopeful for Kenneth Walker. I hope he.
Enemy's back too, right?
Do what?
Enemy's back. Okay.
EB's back, and EB's not just back. He's coming from what I would argue is a better offensive mind today than maybe where some people might place Andy in today's game, without being too blasphemous. But yeah, so EB's coming from the Bears, who had a great running game and managed with what are arguably middle of the line talent. Swift and Monungai both had flashy
Are you doubting Swift and Monungai as talented running backs?
They are better pass catchers than anyone on the Jets. So, but yeah.
Let's really. I think the thing with this draft is like looking at Fernando Mendoza. I think is a perfectly fine pick, obviously, especially the 102.
No doubt.
It is rough seeing Emmett Johnson, who was taken 5th round, taken at the middle of the second in the rookie draft. That is painful. And we're just getting into that. Like, I'm going to touch on that later. But, I mean, the pick was taken there. I feel like he maybe reached a little bit on running back. I would have taken maybe Zachariah Branch, Bell with Miami.
No, actually. Don't take Branch.
Shut up. I'm not. We're talking if we're in the spot, right? Like, I think Fernando Mendoza is a good pick. Emma Johnson is okay. Like, I'm giving a graph rating, I'm put that at probably like maybe a C. Fernando Mendoza is fine. The thing with Mendoza is that like it's where I expect the pick, so I don't think it's gonna like jump out to me like that's the fucking dude. But I mean Emma Johnson, I mean
C is what I was thinking too, because I mean, I don't really worry about running backs anymore. I got a wealth of running backs, so it's outside of my purview. But yeah, I think a C is a good rating.
Yeah, Hurst, I think, is probably redeems a little bit at Emma Johnson, and I mean Trey Smack and whatever. It's a 4th. I don't give a fuck.
I will say that if we're actually going to grade the picks individually.
Big picture, total draft.
Right. No, I'm just saying for Emmett Johnson, I do think Emmett goes a little early. I'm under the impression the running back class for this year is horrendous anyways. So a 5th round running back is certainly deep and you're reaching, but the offensive talent in the draft in general is considered trash.
It's lacking.
So you're really just taking shots in round 2. And then he also took it at Ted Hurst. Hurst is, he's a homer from a Bucs perspective. Hurst is behind a lot of guys. If we're Dave has been joking, at least to some extent, that he thinks CMC's going to retire. So if that is what he thinks, Kalen Black is floating out there. There are people that sit behind CMC that you think you could maybe double up on that move. If you have a feeling that you're trading out CMC because you think he's going to fail, and you double down on that move. You take Trayvon, I think is what I would do in those positions. But I would have traded out of this draft entirely because I hate it.
I agree. I think the only problem that we run into, and I was talking to Frank about with the 2-1, was that I keep advising everyone I talk to, like I talk to Chris, I talk to Frank, I talk to multiple people, and when they ask my opinion, I was always trade out of it. But the problem is, it requires a second, right? Like we can't just trade out of it to the fucking the ether and
Ether.
get the picks we
Yeah.
want. Like at the end of that, you need a partner that wants to do that trade, that's willing to give that capital, and not everyone wants that. So sometimes you just guys fucking suck it up and take the pick, and hopefully they work out. And it's not terrible. I don't like, and as we come close to ending on our league champions rosters, it just feels very. And I'm expecting a lot of in-season moves from Dave, looking at it, because we've got players like Chuba, Jalen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson. He might keep Tua, but I guess George Pickens is still fairly young. But Mike Evans, he's surely got to find a way to get rid of Mike Evans.
I don't know if we want to. If we are going to do full roster analysis, this is going to take very long.
No, I'm more of a where did this draft go? What are we looking at in the future? Because as we come up in this last 30 seconds, where do you see, looking at the draft, we think he probably rates him around a C, maybe a C plus. Where do we think this Dave takes his team now that he's clearly trying to rebuild?
Yeah.
He won a championship. Dave doesn't give a shit about it.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. He wasn't even. Dave was not on my bingo card as he's gonna come through. But
yeah, living off the back CMC's volume combined with Cook's volume. I mean, he's gonna take you places.
Think about it. He turned that second into a championship, and then he fucking turns around and sells it. That's pretty fucking crazy.
He traded out Lamar before Lamar had a midseason as the new Lamar owner.
Did he time that perfectly on the Lamar trade too?
It was pretty.
Let's not jerk him off
close.
too much.
Let's not glaze the man too much.
He's old. He needs a little assistance sometimes. So I'll lend a hand. All
right.
Progress.
Where are we going? Move on. Let's
move on. Next team. So we got second place finish last year. The cousin of the corrupt commissioner, Dustin, and he only had 2 picks as a perennial contender, and he took Kevin Coleman at the 3.11. Jesus. And then Garrett Nussmeier at the 4.11. So, man, Coleman's not a. All I think is Keon, so that's not a good association. And then Nussmeier has a broken back, so I'm not really sure what he was aiming for with this one. So
I give him a B. I don't want to hang out on this too long. I think that he is taking a shot on a wide receiver, which is about the best thing you can do in this draft. He's taking a shot on a wide receiver in a room that's empty. If anything
that's true
at all in Miami, Kevin Coleman's likely to be involved to some extent. I mean, he's going to get more looks than who else was taken in his range. Skylar Bell from Buffalo. I know Bell's a bad example.
That's a great example. Bill's wide receiver room is wide open, so it's
Brendan Thompson is the next receiver off the board, and Brendan Thompson is behind infinitely more wide receivers than Coleman is at the moment.
Yeah.
So, and who cares? It's a third.
Yeah,
It's hard to judge.
I don't have a lot of hopes for Kevin Coleman, honestly. They needed to fill someone in there. I think Coleman's probably a slot. I think looking at it right now from the stuff that I've got, he's played 91% of his career in the slot. I think he's going to be a strictly wide receiver 3 for Miami. But I mean, that wide receiver is wide open. Maybe he jumps from the slot to playing the X on top of that in wide receiver 2, and then all of a sudden it's a brilliant pick. And Nussmeier, I mean, who knows?
I love Nussmeier, but his back is fucked. So
yeah, I mean, it can't. The best. I mean, if I'm Dustin, I'm praying that Mahomes gets injured for a little bit and he can turn around and go to the Mahomes owner and be like, "Can I get a second?"
you're gonna give him a second?
No, I got fucking 3 quarterbacks. I'm just saying, that's
remove the weird injury jinx that Dustin just put on. Let's format this in a way that doesn't offend, which is that
let's not curse
a little longer to recover. Than is currently anticipated. Nussmeier starts part of the season. In this case, the Mahomes owner, who is Dustin, would be involved in some sort of draft trade or something.
Yeah.
For Nussmeier. What would you trade for a Nussmeier if in this hypothetical situation where
Pocket
you,
win.
theoretically,
I think
in this world you've created for yourself,
right.
what would you trade for Nussmeier?
I mean, I think depending on Nuss's success, I think trading a second, especially considering I'm aiming for back at the second, you could possibly pull that off, right? Like ideally I'm not, but like because I'm trying. The hope for my build is that I have 3 good quarterbacks, and I might not. Who knows? But
Yeah.
um,
Keep your grimy hands on them too. Never letting go.
Moving
but
to the
I
next
could see playing a
draft.
second. You know, for that 5-week starter, if Mahomes is out for 6 weeks, and you need someone to slot in, I'd give a second to make sure I don't lose a bye. You know,
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
thought process.
Especially
But yeah, I mean, I think
Cool.
it's I don't know a
We've
B or some
we've
shit.
seen
Like
this
it's
sort of
perfectly okay.
strategy.
Yeah.
We've seen the
No,
strategy
I could
where
work
someone
B.
takes a quarterback that maybe has a chance, and if nothing else other than flipping him for a higher pick than where he took him, next year
Yeah.
it's back.
Yeah.
The next drafter in theory would be the Commish, of course. I get a
Going
lot
back.
of grief for hating this draft, but you literally didn't take a pick.
Yeah.
So let's hear why you hate this draft
Uh,
yourself. Is this just because your team sucked last year? That you just
Salt in the wound. Oh man.
yeah. So, I kind of this gives me shades of Frank. I saw 24 being a good draft. I liked it. I liked the running backs in 25. I wanted a piece of 26, but what it came down to, and I didn't want late 26. I wanted first round or
Early.
nothing.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't like second round or later, and I thought this draft was going to be really, really shallow with starting players of the offense, and I think I was proven right in that regard. So what it came down to when we ended the year, I had a first still, and I thought either I can don't unload this first. Hopefully it's in late first. You know, I at least win one playoff game, and then I got to buy, I guess, but because I didn't win one. And then this draft is bad. I think it is, which I think it is, and you know, at the end that pick ended up being Denver's running back they took, who was
Your pick turned out to be shitty.
who ended up being a 4th round running back. The 110 was a 4th round running back in this league. Like we'll get to Kinter picking that later on, but like what in my mind, that's just I could fucking care less. So I traded a pretty high, what I think a 2027 first, and I think I threw in a second too to get a third and the best tight end in the game possibly back. Like that was a huge win as far as like because I didn't have a lot of any faith in 26 class. I've been trying to unload 2026 class for a long time. Those are always when people came to me and they're like, "Hey, I want to trade picks for players, players for picks." I was always trying to unload 2026. And
you trade for McBride pre-injury, right?
I traded for McBride like 2 weeks. It was like right when the trade cutoff happened.
We unlocked. Gotcha.
Trade deadline.
But
So I was like week 10-ish.
He was playing, right?
Yeah. I mean, he was healthy all year. He had a fucking.
Yeah, I'm mixing him up with another.
Bowers was out.
Yeah,
Bowers was out for half the year. Came back really hot.
Yeah.
McBride. I mean, honestly, the only problem I have with McBride is that he fucking dropped a dud on me in the playoff game where I needed to beat the league champ. If I had won that game, I would have gone on to be. I had a very, very high week 17 score, but it doesn't fucking matter. Week 16, you got to win 16 too. So. Yeah,
no, I don't think it was a bad move at all. I was originally in on the 2026 draft. I wanted to get. I mean, Dustin knows because I fucking glazed him for 2 years. But I really wanted to draft Mekhi Lemon. I wanted Lemon so bad. But as stuff started to settle, and it didn't look like my picks were going to be good enough, made the big move to lose all the picks and take a flyer on Justin Jefferson. I mean, it's not his fault.
He's fucking Jay Jetta. They can't go wrong.
Yeah, there's no way that could go wrong. I needed one premier wide receiver. There's no way that one of the top 3 wide receivers in the league would finish as a wide receiver 3, right? There's no way that could happen.
I mean, JJ also had a decent drop percentage on his own of catchable balls. So I guess to progress from the guy that literally didn't draft while we're talking about
I want to grade it because I feel like it's justified. I would give myself an A.
I would say an A too.
Avoiding this draft gives you an A.
That's crazy, but it's kind of true. I can't even fault you on that because none of these people would fit for you, right? Like after, right?
Jeremiah
like
Love's the only one, and short of Frank deciding to tank again for 3 years, like it's not gonna happen, right? Like I paid the fucking Piper to move up to the 101 last year. This draft did not fit what I wanted.
I would add Kinter A and add an int in the beginning and give you an NA because you didn't fucking draft.
Whatever. All right, fine. I mean, you're wrong, but we'll move on. We'll move on to our number 4 then. Let's take it away, Dave.
All right. So number 4 was Casey. Casey, he drafted all later picks. Well, he had one first round. He took Omar Cooper with the 1.11. it was a Ram. Max Clare with the 2.9. Damon Claiborne with the 3.10. And then 2 late fourths, Jack Endries with the 4.8 and Jam Miller with the 4.9. So
yeah, let's start with the first round pick, obviously, the most interesting one with Omar Cooper. Let's talk to our Jets fan about this.
So I had the chance to draft Omar Cooper, and I didn't. And it's not that I think he's bad. I think he's going to be dog shit for fantasy. I think Omar Cooper fits into that realm of going to be good at real football, but awful in fantasy. And that's primarily because the Jets are dog shit, right? I don't want to even get into the Sadiq pick. We'll talk about that later, but it's just not going to be a great fantasy pick. But then comparatively, right? Like who else would you take at that slot? You going to reach for a Singleton was a 4th round running back, I think, right?
Cooper is the idea, I think, in that spot. You're either taking Cooper or you're taking Boston. Boston's not even the first wide receiver drafted by the Browns in this draft. It's like that, the equivalent, I guess, is Dylan Sampson, although obviously you have more wide receivers on the field than running backs. I think Cooper's a good pick. I mean, I joked all year in the chat and whatnot that Cooper must have the best agent in the entire NFL because he went from being like this, like a guy I expected to kind of slide into the second, and the Chiefs maybe grab at the back end of the first, and he goes a little earlier than that. I don't remember exactly pick.
Yeah.
I think Cooper's a second rounder that was taken in the first. But the good things about him, he can break tackles. Absolutely can break tackles. He's a pretty efficient guy. He's a 4th-year player.
Yep.
If you knew much about my approach on rookies, I don't like 4th-year players.
That means
my belief is if you're good to play in the NFL, you should be performing year 2, year 3. It shouldn't take you to year 4 to really kind of come around.
I think his ceiling is going to be like a 700 yard, 4 to 5 touchdowns, which, I mean, that's not terrible, right? But is that what you want to take in the first round of your fantasy draft? Not really.
Yeah, but how you going to trade it? I mean, let's look at the rest of them, right? So we got Omar Cooper, the 111. I agree with Devon that it's kind of hard to the 111. You're like, okay, great. Who the fuck else are you going to take? Stowers, Singleton.
First next year, and then she get a second next year, and that's if someone's offering it. I have somebody I'm trying to trade in this league for a second next year. Even that wasn't like that's not a remotely done deal. Second pick, I love Max Clare. He's going to a tight end room that
that's open.
Talent wise is not there, and a team that uses their tight ends. Like they are a top 5 team in tight end yards last year and targets. Like they get the ball. Which is insane to say about a Rams team that somehow manages to feed Devontae, Puka, and then also a tight end room. And then that's without even getting into like Blake Corum has kids
and Kyron.
The Kyron twins between Corum and get touches. It's Stafford. I don't know how he has an arm every year, but That the room gets touches. I know I wanted Claire. I wanted him to fall to me. I traded out after he didn't fall to me. I know that Dave was on Claire. Claire's not like a.
Yeah.
He was someone people were spotting. I hit this spot, and he got him before someone else didn't. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good pick.
he did pretty good at Purdue. I think he was my tight end 3 overall, but I think he's my favorite to kind of like be a dark horse.
Yeah.
Even though I obviously they have, it's a fairly empty room. You know, I do have their time before and some hope there, but I think Claire's got some potential. We'll see how it all plays out. Tight end's a real shit show. But I think this is a perfectly fine pick at the end of the second, when you know your competition for end of second is speaks for itself.
Yeah. All right. So what letter grade? I'm leaning towards B.
It seems
where I'm
reasonable
sitting
to
at.
me. Yeah, I
like
mean,
you got mid first round equivalent talent at the back end of the first. You got someone I wanted at the spot at 2 in the back end of the 2. Claiborne is in a decent room himself. I don't think his tape shows that he's going to stand out by any means, but in a room that's had issues with not Jones.
Oh, they were dog water last season.
Yeah, Aaron Jones, as a Jordan Mason owner. I mean, you know, there's a space to open there, and in a bad class, a random pick at a third that could have some running room. You know, a little pun there. Yeah, I like B, A, low A, high B.
I'll say B, just because I have a hard time. This class just makes me kind of throw up my mouth a little bit, but I think B, high B is pretty reasonable.
Draft in this class. You were just trying to give yourself an A for not even drafting. And now we're shit talking someone who's drafted with most and pause.
Should have gotten out of it. Should have just gotten out of it, baby.
All right.
Yeah, so that leaves us moving on to.
Oh yeah, that's me. All right. So let's see.
I don't know if it's more egregious that you took Ty Simpson in the first round or that the Rams did.
Okay, so here's my picks. All right, I got Ty Simpson at the 1.9, Zachariah Branch at the 2.6, and then Cade Klubnik with the 3.4. So, yeah, I mean, here's my logic. I traded back into the first round at the 1.9 because I knew or felt very comfortable that one of Sadiq, Price, Omar Cooper was going to fall to me. And I was going to be fine if I had to take Cooper at the 1.9. I need wide receivers. I'm a Jets fan, right? Like I could hype myself up on that pick all day long. But lo and behold, I'm sitting there waiting for Zach to make his picks. And the team that needs quarterback doesn't pick the quarterback drafted by McVay. So this turned into a really easy, straightforward pick. Ty Simpson fell to the 1.9. I fucking snatched his ass up and stuck him right on my taxi squad where he's going to be for the next probably 2 years, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Moved up a pick from the 3rd to the 2nd. I was hoping that I would get Antonio Williams. That was who I wanted. I figured he would be there at the mid-second, but Kinter screwed me over by taking him a bit earlier than he probably should have. And Branch was probably my next wide receiver after that. I was looking at Surratt, who I also liked, with Baltimore's wide receiver room being kind of trash. But I love Branch. I've been glazing Branch for 2 years too. Him and Mekhi Lemon, I've been all over for 2 years since they were freshmen. So Branch being there, I had to grab. And then, of course, I took the Jets quarterback drafted because, well, shit, who else was I going to take? I think Klubnik has a chance to move and start some games, maybe. Like, this is me praying to every god in the fucking universe for this. But if Geno goes out Cade Klubnik starts games and wins, holy shit, then I have the Jets starting quarterback and they're going to draft 3 starters next year with all their first round picks. So 100% a homer, pray to God, fingers crossed, toes crossed pick with the third. Yeah, but that was my logic. So I'm going to give myself like an A because I got Ty Simpson. That's my criteria right there.
I think Simpson at the 1-9 is perfectly fine. Like let's take a step back. We are looking at Superflex, and quite honestly, like theoretically, a guy who has some ability, who was drafted to McVay's team, like has the potential to be the most valuable person in this entire draft, even over Jeremiah Love. Like, I think I would say he should have gone above Price.
Yeah, that's what I expected too. I expected to get Price.
I thought he should go. I would go as far as the 1-5. I think after Tyson, Simpson is a totally realistic good pick to take, and Chris doesn't think he needs a quarterback. We'll get to Chris when we get him, and that's fine. Zach, I have to refresh what he needs as a quarterback. I think he's got 2 good ones. I know he's got Josh Allen, obviously.
Yeah.
So, maybe Derek got lucky in that regard and just kind of didn't have to bother moving up. But if I'm someone who's going to super flex and I don't have 3 good quarterbacks, I'm taking Simpson at the 1-5 over Lemon, and everywhere afterwards as well. So I get it. He was a weird pick, and everyone's kind of shocked by him. But at the end of the day, the Rams took him, and he falls to a great spot. I like that pick a lot. Zachariah Branch is a fucking dog.
Literally a bulldog.
Branch, Lord, Branch was such a hard spot. I think that Derek knows that I liked Branch a while ago. Branch was one of the 5-star recruits that went to USC, played with Caleb Williams.
Who took over after Caleb that literally killed Branch's draft stock?
It's weird, right?
I don't even remember who it was.
It's just he didn't get a lot of targets. He didn't have the great breakout score. He didn't succeed against competition at the school. Something notable to note, notable to note, that's a stupid thing to say. Remarkable to note, is that when you have players that play against in a system with a lot of different other wide receivers, you expect them to be better than them, especially if they're going to the NFL. And it's pretty logical when you think about it. You don't see that from Branch, but yet when he goes to UGA, he kind of breaks that mold. There's a big breakout there, and he's not doing this at year 4. He still is a year 3 player. It's a gamble, but I could totally think him in for mid-second in a garbage draft. I think that's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, and 2, you got to remember that second year at USC, he was also playing with Lemon, right? And then
that's very
glazed
true.
the shit out of Lemon. So, right, when it's the top 2 receivers there are Lemon and Branch, I'm not upset that he didn't outperform Lemon. Yeah. Would it be nice? Yeah, sure, but Lemon's so good, man.
I think if Zachariah Branch was in the 2024 class, like he'd be a 3rd-round pick in the rookie picks. But I think getting him in the middle of the second is totally reasonable. I like Zach Branch more than some of the other people that went out there. So I think getting him at the 2-6 is fine. And then, I think taking a quarterback late is always not a bad gamble. Like it's the 3rd round of the rookie drafts. Just taking the shot with the potential you could move up with those picks or do something with them or just start them if there's an injury. We have to accept variance happens in this game, and I think it's a solid draft. I would rate this as an A as well.
Mind you, if Geno Smith is a starting quarterback, he doesn't need to get injured.
You're 100%. Yes.
That is true. That is true.
He doesn't need an injury. He's in a room that makes sense. I give Derek an A, but B because he's egotistical about it. So
me egotistical? No way.
as we have so far gone through 2 separate self-declared A's.
Mine's
was
legit,
waiting
though.
for
I
that.
made
Don't worry.
picks.
Devon's gonna declare himself an A as well because he avoided the whole thing too. And I'll give him props.
I will,
I'll give you the
so
A.
I can pretend to be the high, like a good guy.
I'll give you the A for not drafting. I'm right there with you. I'm not a hypocrite.
We moved to the Wink. Winky.
Yeah,
Wink
let's check out
Yeah.
Wink. So
He-
Wink was
He had
before
more
he
trade
got.
picks.
Wink had a
For
good
sure.
strategy for this draft.
He saved me from Justin Jefferson jail. Thank you, Wink. I appreciate it a
He's
ton.
trying to get out of this draft. I know for certain that he was sending every single one of his picks to every single person possible to try and just round swap for somebody or year swap with the same round for 2027 picks. Would be my guess at every pick trade he sent. In the end, he ended up with Kalen Black, who, like I mentioned, I mean, if something
He's got a
does
shot.
with CMC, maybe he ends up there. I would say that the Niners have never drafted running backs well, as a person who's owned almost all of them that they've drafted in the last 5 years. So who knows? It's a split backfield constantly. It's a third as well, so who gives a shit? Drafting someone in the back end of a Bears wide receiver room is crazy to some extent. But what do you guys think about Xavier and Kalen?
So
Kalen's legit pick. 49ers room. I think CMC is gonna die, but I've been counting on CMC dying for 3 years now. He keeps coming back, but it's only a matter of time. Father Time's the only winner in football every single time. So, I think Black's a good pick. I don't know about Xavier Thomas. I'm gonna be real. It's a 4.7, right? Who went after him that I would take over? Nobody. So that's a flyer. I don't hate it. If Burden gets injured, right? He
Why did you
profiles a
say
different
that?
thing.
You can say Rome. You know what?
Rome's gonna be on the bench, man. What are you talking
oh
about?
my lord.
It's a Ben Johnson offense. They were flashy last year. They have a lot of mouths to feed. Maybe Xavier gets a little bit pieces in there. If anything, if he gets anything at all, he'll be worth more than he's cost. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm not crazy about the Caleb. I get the thought process. It's 49ers running back. And that's literally where the thought process ends. This is a guy who was not at the combine, who got taken in the 5th, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you questioning the drafting abilities of the 49ers?
That's right. So everyone's over here shitting on Stribling, right? But yet I just
they're shitting on Black.
I think Black deserves as much as well. And we can be optimistic about it, and I get he lands in a good spot, but that is literally, I think, the start and end of where Kalen Black his future is. So I get I'm coming off harsh on him, and can't hurt to take a shot at running back, but I get the feeling this is gonna be not a great pick, but at the same time, I mean, it was the 3-7, I guess. So I would have preferred Carson Beck or Aller here, but obviously they were taken right before. You
get what? You get Jinty's handcuff?
Make another shot at yet another Miami wide receiver, maybe. Fuck it, just send it.
There's a lot of talk in this draft about keeping, or from the media I consumed at least. I've talked about, I didn't stare at the rookies a whole lot, but people talk they would rather have a lot of thirds than any seconds. Which is, you take these flyers, if they turn into something, great. If they don't, it's a flyer. Who gives a shit? Drop them.
And Xavier Thomas, he's young. I think he's going to mostly be a punt returner probably, but you never know.
So we're adding a returner as our next roster.
If Sleeper doesn't support it until it does, it's not even worth bringing it up. This stat doesn't exist. We'd have to literally move to 4 wide receiver. Just don't give it. Not likely.
It's all right.
But I think that's what's going to happen.
I'm campaigning for Kamir. I'm campaigning for Kamir right now. All right, cool. So what rate are we going to give Wink here? I'm kind of C is kind of where I'm at.
I like B. He took upside players. I'm probably giving too high grades, but like I said, you guys try to give yourselves A's a moment ago. C, he didn't take a lot of picks, so I seemingly would bump him from a C to a B in Dustin's mind.
Yeah, 100%.
So
There's strategy to play in this. I absolutely agree.
got good value for his picks when he traded out too. I mean, it's not like he was trading out seconds for thirds. I don't think it was. I'd have to look at the trade record, but
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, moved out. Moved
Yeah, I mean, he flipped a bunch of stuff for Justin Jefferson, which you can't look at that and say that's a bad move most of the time. I was just low on Jetta, so
Fair enough.
Kyler Murray can't see over the damn line. 9 can't throw a fucking football. Like,
next on this is myself.
So tell us about your picks and your logic here,
And
Devin.
how you drafted with an A grade.
I had the 102. I traded out of the 102 as we talked about earlier for James Cook.
Yeah.
I think that was decent value. Tried to. I don't know if you guys have traded with Dave. It's arguably too easy. Try to trade with Dustin, and he wants to give you like soliloquies and shit. Dave just fucking hits accept, and that's it. He doesn't.
He does. I traded with him too, and it was so easy compared to everyone else.
Sure, and then clicks it. That's as far as it goes, and I love that. And I hate it as well because there's a lot there. It makes me feel like I should send credit. Whatever. We'll digress. I don't want to give my newfound Dave trade strategies away. They're not going to work for me. I just want to chip off most of my own players, and I traded for Lamar. Whatever. I digress. I gave away CMC, who we ended up winning with. But
that could have been you, Devin.
Yeah. Fuck CMC. So I traded out of all my picks. Really, I didn't get great value in my mind. So I don't know if they're, but trading to a later year. I think I ended up with 2028 picks. No one
good draft trust.
Giving away 2027s, and I hate this class. I took Bernard because I literally couldn't trade away the 302. I tried, and then directly afterwards, I probably should have taken Bell, but there were things about Bell that I didn't like. He has age. The Bills are the Bills.
Old breakout.
But yeah, so I don't actually have expectations for either of them, and I just took them because that was who was expected to be that spot. Beck, it's super flex. I'm down to 2 QBs. I do think they're great QBs. I have Lamar and Hurts. So I'm not in like a bad super flex situation there, but Beck seemed like at my pick in that spot, the person I was most likely to be able to start on a bye week in the middle of this year. If I needed to put a QB into a super flex, I think there's a decent chance he'll be starting over Minshew. Brissett has never survived the season, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see where it ends up. I also had people trying to trade for this pick that didn't care at all for the 3-2, which I thought was interesting, and I do think Beck was going to go right after me. But I didn't take him, so I give myself a B. Upgraded from probably a C. Like I said, I really didn't think I did, to be honest. I got out of it though, which is good. And came out with. I need wide receivers. I've been taking shots on wide receivers. I took a lot of them last year. Some of those turned out. Burden. I like.
You took all my big body receivers, you bastard.
That's it. Yeah. Manor just got kind of downgraded because of this draft. In some ways, so it made sense for me to grab a receiver. Like I said, I think Beck has upside. I think more likely to start than Nussmeier.
Agree.
Which was my other thought process. So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, I think Nuss is not likely to start. Maybe in the beginning, but then they also had Justin Fields over there in Kansas City.
I need a QB. It is actually high to see it. If he turns into something great, if he doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, if we end up just playing this with video, you'll see the number one reason why to draft Justin Beck. Just look at that beautiful face. Look at that. Look into the steely, murky,
he's so good. He doesn't even have a
cesspool green-looking eyes. think of all the beautiful college co-eds that have made love to this man.
Oh, literally a man.
I've got him like posted full, like zoomed in on his face. So, anyways,
I did take it back because I needed to add a good vet to my team.
it's
That's where we do it. Is the draft.
as for
Oh,
Bernard,
man.
like I think we're looking at another slot guy. Like nothing wrong with where you took him. I think it's perfectly fine. But he's probably gonna step in as a go-to slot guy. Not a bad thing with Metcalf and Pittman there, and then maybe when Metcalf gets ejected, he can take the wide receiver 2 role. I could see it.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
it's good upside because Pittman and Metcalf definitely have the first 2 slots locked down, right? And so that slot wide receiver is the piece, and that's where he fits in. So
I have a previous Rowan Wilson owner in my draft, so to some extent, taking Bernard is kind of doubling down and dropping Wilson is a way that I will try to make it make sense from like an agency perspective. But in the end, I looked at the board and I said I hate the Bills, and I took Bernard. So I talked about taking Claiborne. I have Jordan Mason. So there's some thought there. Just take the guy that backs him up. I was hoping that like Claire, someone else would end up in these spots, but that obviously didn't happen. So,
yeah. Overall, as someone who avoided this draft as much as they could, I would give you an A, maybe an A minus, but an A.
Awesome.
Now,
all right,
let's swing in the opposite direction.
Next up, we have Zach. Zach drafted a full team minus a kicker this draft.
And a bench player.
And a bench player. So here's what we got. So first round, we had Casey Concepcion, Jadarian Price, Kenyon Sadiq, and Singleton. Okay. Second round, we had Surratt and Chris Brazel. Third round, we had Stribling and Alar. And fourth round, we had Brennan Thompson and Bryce Lance.
All right. So I think we need to start before we go into this. And this is like, we needed to try and cut down on the other rosters on time because we need to spend all of that time on Zach. Because what starts off is this trade he made with Chris to essentially move back in this at the cost of getting an additional 2027 pick, which has me personally really conflicted because I do like the 2027 class a lot more than this one. But all the good players in this class were in the first 6 picks, and he traded out of those picks. So getting extra picks is nice, but
he could have taken all the wide receivers that Chris did, which would have made a shit ton of sense for his roster and what I thought was going to be what happened.
And the way I see it is that Chris has multiple firsts, obviously, but like his firsts are likely to be back end, at least in the last 6 picks. So Zach is guaranteeing himself probably 6th at worst in next year's draft, and every player that will be available at 1-6 is better than every player that was available at 1-3. Is how I see it. I could be wrong.
Yeah, so
I mean that's a fair assessment.
He's got his own 2027 first, which will assuredly be very high. I'm looking at the wrong person, obviously, because I'm looking at Zach's picks. I need to look at Chris's picks. All right, so we've got Devon's 27 first. We think that'll probably be on the low end. Derek's 27 first, probably on the low end, on the back half, right?
It's gonna be the last pick of
Justin's
the first round.
probably on the back half. It's got to be Dave's, right? Like that's the guy who's actively trying to tank, but he still has a fair amount of vets on his team that he needs to offload. All of those vets are going to be points that are going to hurt him in max points for. well, it won't hurt him, obviously. He doesn't have his own pick. It'll hurt Chris's pick. So, yeah, I think realistically, you're looking at probably like the 105, 106, like you said, Devon. That's probably what that's going to get. So he moved back all those slots to pick up the 105, which it is a good class. It's going to be, at least I think it is. I think it's good to have that extra player, but man, I'm not a big Price fan. I think Derek already knows that.
Yeah.
You can take it away. I'm gonna grab a drink if you guys want to talk for a second. And
Yeah,
I'll be
sure.
right
I'll
back.
keep going. That's fine. So we're talking about the move, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the players that he picked, and for that trade specifically, I guess I'm not thinking it's that bad of a move. I don't like Sadiq. I think that everybody in our league knows that I hate that Sadiq pick. Period. I don't like the Jets drafted him. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but if you're a Sadiq believer and you think that he's going to be something, like, okay, fair. I don't mind the price pick. Dustin's very low on him, but I think rookie running back, take it in the first round, going to a team that just lost half of their running back committee and the other half is recovering from an injury. I think that's not going to be a bad pick. And then it's Concepcion. So, like, I don't like Concepcion because he's on the Browns. If he wasn't on the Browns, I think that's a great pick. But he's on the Browns, right? But the Browns are going to get a new quarterback next year, 99%.
Sean Watson fed wide receivers for the first half of his career. You know?
That's right.
I'm sure that
That's
he will
right.
keep
He's fed a wide variety of masseuses, too, around the country.
That's defamation. You should be sued.
That's right. He didn't feed them. My apologies. That is an untrue statement.
Yeah, at least he didn't cheat on his wife. I think this picks are good. I mean, if you're going to take it, if you're going to draft in this, trading back a little bit and getting value for next year's steal.
Yeah.
So
you have players that are going to be in positions to play. The Browns have Jerry Jeudy as their number one receiver. You know, I mean,
I think Zach has him too. So I think Zach's all in on whoever's going to be wide receiver one.
He is
in Cleveland.
I think are we still on Concepcion?
Price is in a room that has, space. I don't know. I have to pretend I'm high on Kenneth Walker now because he's the chief, but I historically have not been a big KW fan. And
me neither.
He produced. And Sharp is injured. Sharp is always injured. So not a bad spot there. Price, I don't know. I didn't watch enough of their games. I know obviously he's behind Love, and people talk about that.
Yeah.
But I think just about half the league's running backs would be behind Love, and the teams that they're on with him.
Not mine.
I want to interject before we get to Singleton because I have strong opinions on that as well.
So that's we're from the first trade with Chris' standpoint. Don't think it's necessarily a bad move. Now, if we're talking about the rest of his draft picks,
so let's do the first three real quick.
So first three were good.
Yeah.
First three were good.
I think Concepcion. I think the Browns have a very beatable depth chart. Like, I actually think I like Concepcion. I wasn't crazy about him as a prospect too much. He was an early declare, I suppose. I think he was a better prospect than some first-round receivers that have come out. There are concerns. He wasn't the most dominant wide receiver. He's not a flawless individual, but he's on the Browns. I actually kind of like him because I think he will get more of the ball than a lot of his competition. We're looking at Concepcion possibly being the best rookie wide receiver. Now, I don't know if he'll be the best sophomore wide receiver, but I think he could be the best rookie wide receiver just because who the fuck are you going to throw to? Besides, the quarterback getting sacked all the fucking time, which wasn't going to help many, but maybe it does. I don't know. I mean, I like Monken personally as an OC. I think he's going to a situation. I think he's going to be fired in a couple of years, but I like Monken as an OC.
Well, the Browns only have 2 offensive linemen, don't they? I think, isn't that the total number they have signed? Because that's how many they drafted.
As for Price, I mean, he played behind Love. That's honestly like the best thing I could say about him, is that he played behind the running back that was taken third overall. Enough said about this draft. That running back was taken third overall, but he just wasn't great on adjusted yards per play. Wasn't great receiving either. Looking at it right now, I've got him up 12th percentile in receiving. Like, not great.
That's bad
I
numbers right there.
I think the best thing you're going to see from Price, though, is that he walks into a spot where Charbonne's injured, Kendall Walker's gone. You know, I think Zach is. The thing is, it's weird. I would expect to see Concepcion and Price being drafted by like a late first round pro player manager that wants someone who can produce fast and quick. Zach doesn't give a shit about the production, so maybe it helps him in that like increasing that value, so he can like inflate his team's value. But long story short, he doesn't need that. So I don't know. I mean, I think they're fine picks. I think it's gonna look better probably end of year than the beginning. Sadiq, you can speak on Sadiq. I guess he was the tight end one. That's all I can say about Sadiq.
I will actually speak to Sadiq very quickly, which is as a Chiefs fan, this is something that came up constantly is that people were mocking Sadiq to us. I talked to like in all my fantasy chats that people talk me about. Sadiq to Chiefs was very widely talked about, and there's like this concept about
I would have liked that too.
the Chiefs always have a tight end. They take a big guy, but I watch his tape. I like one of the few people I actually watch tape. I walked away from it being like, why the fuck are we even talking about this?
That was not the reaction I was expecting.
I don't know if I don't, maybe it's that college just looks like dog shit to me. Especially when.
No, that's exactly what his tape said for sure. Agreed.
I mean, he didn't produce anything great. He just had crazy metrics. I don't know. I didn't.
His route running wasn't clean. Like, yeah, he's bigger than college players, so he could block them, but like he's not big enough to be a great blocker in the NFL. His hands are decent, but like, can he use his speed to get separation in the NFL? Right? Like, yeah, I had to watch tape on him too.
He as well as Stowers are two guys that the combine did amazing for their draft capital.
Yeah.
He has good draft capital in terms of investment. It's from the Jets, so who cares how much they invest in somebody. But yeah, after that we got Singleton.
Yeah. So the rest of the picks. Oh Lord.
I was a big Singleton truther in 2023.
A long time.
Big Singleton truther. You can talk to Derek. I thought for sure
He did.
I was going to be drafting. I kid you not, on my work computer, I have like players that I wanted to draft as I was building this team up, and Nick Singleton was there on the first round for 2 years. I thought for sure I was taking Nick Singleton. That was going to be a
top
dude
running
on my
back,
roster.
Nick Singleton, shore up a championship roster for Dustin. Oh yeah.
And man, he had a great rookie year. And yikes, it is bad after that. I don't know what it is. I think Katron Allen outperformed him in the entirety of last year, and it drove me nuts because I was such a big Singleton truther, and the dude just kept proving me wrong all the time. I don't think he's a bad pick at the right point, but this draft, it's just. I remember when I started this thing up, and then I put the kids to bed, and then I turned around and looked at it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Coleman and Singleton went in the first. Like mine was blown. But
yeah,
all the more reason to get out of this draft and take the A for your draft grade, right? But it drives me nuts. Singleton, going off that rookie production, and I'm a big fan of young production, I think he's a good pick at the right spot. I don't like him at the 112, but honestly, I don't think you're going to get him at the 2.5, the 2.6.
No.
I mean, I know he doesn't fall out of the second round from what I can tell. And Zach isn't wrong, theoretically, to take him at the end of the first, because I've seen tons of other drafts take him at the end of the first. But every time, it just seems so painful. And I sound like I'm shit talking to Zach, and I'm really not. It's rough to see a running back taken in the fourth.
Yeah.
Now,
Let's
granted,
group up these next 3 wide receivers
Yeah.
together.
totally fair.
So we have Surratt, Brazel, and Stribling all taken pretty quick succession. I mean, and basically second round capital. I think Surratt's okay. I was going to take him if I didn't take Branch. Baltimore, there's room. It's just Surratt's not. He's not special, but I think he's reliable. So like, I would not be surprised to see him hit those dynasty fantasy wide receiver target numbers. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. So I think that's a safe pick. Stribling, I understand. I think that's an okay pick too. But
That was the team has wide receiver problems.
Yeah.
As can be
exactly.
the team.
But Brazel, I don't get that one at all. Like that's, I wouldn't want to. Like he's a tall, big-bodied receiver on a team that just took Tetroa, who had a fucking bomb-ass rookie season. Like I don't see how Brazel even sees the field. Like
I mean,
at all.
he's 6'4", 200 pounds.
All you have to do is beat Xavier Legette. I think he's going to see the field.
Oh no, he's got to beat Coker too.
Coker's not their field stretcher though. I think Brazel's going to be fine in the NFL, and I think he's going to be not hot in fantasy.
Okay.
I think you're going to see a field stretcher whose job is to just try and keep corners and safeties honest.
Listen, someone had to take picks in this draft.
We had Zach to take all.
No, yeah.
It's good that Zach did it.
I think the Stribling is probably, and not for the reason I like. The Stribling is probably the one of these three I like the most, even though I didn't like him as a prospect. But you can't, like, everything is on a grade. Everything's on a scale, and I didn't like Stribling as a prospect. But when you see him go 33rd overall, you have to respect the draft capital, even if it is fucking San Francisco. And I mean, yeah, he broke out late as fuck. He's
old for a rookie.
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years. But he's good after the catch. Yeah, we've seen older prospects do okay when they're like that. Like you've got your Michael Thomases and Terry McLaurins out there. I don't think he's as good as them. But I think the 3-1 Stribling is a great pick. You know, dude went 33rd overall, and he's going behind guys that were taken like 4th, 5th round.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, I think we have to brace the fact that we're not NFL scouts. I'm guessing San Francisco pays their scouts. I don't know. But
volunteer workers in California.
I mean, he's got some capital, so at least he'll probably get a couple chances to see how it plays out. And Surratt's okay, I guess. It's Baltimore. He's behind Flowers. Let me pull up my Surratt.
Yeah, I think it's the Trey Harris owner. Brennan Thompson is not someone I hope does well. So in the back half, these are guys I'm not cheering for, but they have space. They could easily be decent. New Orleans has openings for receivers. They can get.
I like Lance as a flyer in the 4th round. Though I will say that's fair.
Shuck or whatever we're calling the dude, had a decent year. Had probably the best year for a rookie quarterback last year. Yeah, I think I'd have to go stare at the list again, but yeah, I think it's decent.
All right, and then Alar in the middle of the 3rd. I like Alar as a prospect, but he's mega raw. But he's 6'5", huge, cannon for an arm, allegedly. If he gets the the effort to develop, I think that he'll turn into a reliable starter eventually.
You gotta realize, Drew Aller was Aller. I don't know. I always thought it was Aller, but like, this is a guy that we thought was gonna go in the first.
Yeah,
Another
I was
fucking
gonna
Nick
take
Singleton.
it. That was my target. I was like, oh, I can't wait. I've got these 326 first round picks. I'm gonna get Lennon in the late first. I'm gonna get Alar as the third quarterback off. It's gonna be hype. Oh man.
Yeah, like I'm gonna pull up 247 real quick. What was he as a? I think he was a 5-star recruit. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Number 1 quarterback, 3rd overall in the nation as a quarterback, going to Penn State. I thought Drew Aller was gonna be, and maybe
The next Josh Allen, the next big thing.
yeah, like sure, something like that. And dude just fell flat on his face in Penn State. Penn State, they did okay, I guess, but like Singleton, a bunch of these guys
Right?
that, yeah, but he also just
And
didn't
then couldn't
perform
come back
either.
from
Like, you watch his tape and you don't see a guy that has the qualities needed to succeed at the NFL. But how we've not the first time we've seen someone who has the physical traits that just needs to be coached up. So I love Drew Aller at the 3.5. I think that's a great pick. Will it work out? Probably not. He'll probably fucking be, just a backup or some shit. But if he's not,
Yeah, is he gonna be Josh Allen or Mitch Trubisky? Which one are we gonna get from him?
but yeah, that's actually
All right.
one of my favorite picks this draft. So I think overall I'd probably give it. I don't want to give it a B because of Singleton at the 112 and everything. But at the end of the day, like, he's gonna go there. So I feel like I find myself suddenly gonna be there overall. If we're
What do you got?
letters.
What do you got, Devin? What letter grade are you gonna give Zach's draft?
C, B. I don't like the draft, so I think taking a lot of picks in it is. If we're gonna give me an upgrade for having not drafted, or me,
He gets a minus for
For not
drafting from
That's
somewhere.
valid.
Somewhere, we're going to boost the people that didn't draft and not move this.
That's true.
100% of the pie is what we're getting. So from that concept, that being said, he did turn this draft capital. I think he's the only person who managed to trade picks in this draft out and gain a first in next year in the process. So from the movement perspective, I think he gets a great grade. So CB.
You don't gotta twist my arm. I'll give Zach a C any day. Suck it, Zach. Your draft sucks.
We'll get into league histories and rivalries when we get the chance some other month. Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
Oh my gosh.
Let's look at Miller
up.
next. So this is, before we get into this, David Miller. He's known as Miller amongst me. I chose David because that's his real name, but he often likes to go by Miller. It's too late by the time I mentioned it, so I don't know what to prefer. You're more than welcome to, my man. Put in Discord and we can always change it, but take it away.
All right, so Miller got 2 picks. He had the 2.4, and he actually got Denzel Boston there, which that surprised me. I was hoping he'd fall a little bit more, but it didn't happen. And then at the 4.4, he got
a dog.
Yeah. So that's it. Those are his 2 picks. So for the most part, I think Miller's going to be in a good spot for getting rid of as many of his picks as possible.
I actually like Boston. For what it is, right? So he took Boston 2-4, which is not ideal, but it's this draft, right? We're kind of being a dead horse at this point. I think he could have possibly been a first round pick.
I thought he was for sure.
He ends up being early second with Cleveland. Obviously, it hurts that there's another wide receiver there, but that wide receiving room is so open that, I think one of these guys is going to succeed, and taking the shot on Boston is fine. Like, what if Concepcion doesn't turn out to be that dude, and Boston is one of those guys that's probably going to succeed to some degree. It's probably going to get yards. Take the fucking shot. You know what? I think that David wanted more picks in this draft. He just he's got nothing to trade in for it. Like, unfortunately, he's made the moves to not be in a point where he can really take advantage of getting lots of rookies and start his rebuild. He's constantly trying to rebuild, giving up more than he's getting. And I think that's hurting David. I'm hoping he can find a way to kind of just pause on selling picks, take an L for a season. I know you've been taking L's a lot recently, my man, but just keep the picks, accrue value, get some players that are going to be good longer on, get picks, and then just build your team up over time. This is going to be a minute. And maybe Boston can turn around and be that guy in Cleveland if they ever end up being decent. And, Delp, I'm not... Delp was supposed to be the heir incumbent to Brock Bowers for the dog fans. Obviously was not quite that. He's fine. He ran a pretty fast 40, but he doesn't have the production.
Problem is he's there with Jawan Johnson too, right? So like, the reality is that he's not even gonna really have a fighting shot for a ton of targets or anything.
I think overall Delp's fine. He's a long-term play, obviously I think David needs those kind of long-term plays anyways. He sits there with the Saints for a minute. He doesn't have the production you want, but how many tight ends? I mean, the number one tight end on the board, same thing, right? Like, athlete didn't have production. You see that with so many tight ends, and it's a common thing. I mean, the reason I took Laporta so many years ago is because I saw a dude with great athleticism, and hopefully you see that pay off in the long term, because those are the fantasy relevant tight ends you want in your team. Can Delp do it? Probably. Will he? Probably not.
Yeah. Jawan Johnson, he's in a decent room, like I said earlier. I mean, I do kind of have faith in the offensive coordinating and
Kellen Moore. Yeah.
I like Kellen. It seemed like he had a good year last year because a lot of these other starters. Who knows? Maybe there's some space there. It's 4.
Yeah. I think
he's a guy I have on my list as well. In the back half of this draft, if I get picks in it. So
I think my Delp is that, like, when he played with Bowers and McConkey, I've got the numbers up here. He had 24 catches for 284 yards and 3 touchdowns. After Ladd and McConkey left, you're looking at 21 catches for 248 yards, 20 catches for 260, like the same usage with significantly worse players around him. So that's what worries me about Delp. Like, you expect a guy that's truly good is going to step up in that spot, and he just didn't see it, But oh well. Hopefully he does better for the Saints. We'll know. We'll never know. Well, we will. Anyways.
I give Miller a B with this one. I think. I think Boston at the pick that he got him and the flyer on Delp is good enough, and he moved picks out, so can't fault him for that.
Yeah, I'll follow up and give him a B as well, if only because he didn't buy into the draft when he wanted to. He was in the Discord. He was talking about how much he wants to move into the draft. Hey, I want to get in the top this many picks and take. I guess he didn't tell us what he wanted to take, but I'm glad he didn't. I think he just needs to stick with he's got, keep his picks, rebuild his team another way. So for not doing what you wanted to, Miller, because he couldn't pull it off with the right trade, I'll give you a B.
Cool.
Which takes us to
Kinter, our resident NFL historian.
You don't even know the fucking half of it.
16-year-old Kinter.
What do we say? We do mean the pre-merger.
All right, so Kinter had a few picks. Here's what he took. So he took Coleman at the 1.10, Katron Allen at the 2.3, Antonio Williams with the 2.2, and Eli Stowers at the 2.1, and then 4th round flyer on Eli Heidenreich. I don't even know who the fuck that is. All right. So
Let's talk.
let's go there. Devon,
Coleman.
Devon, what you got? What do you think about these picks?
I do you want with Denver's back. I don't like Harvey, but I'm also a Chiefs fan, so fuck, you know. Dobbins is there still, but Coleman has some space, I guess. I didn't watch anything from Coleman, so I'll leave it to you guys and tell me whether or not it's good.
It's not good. That's way too early.
What for Coleman? He played in the. I mean, how old is he? 22. Got quite a bit of run time in the college.
Yeah, he's short and heavy though. That's kind of that's the big problem.
Coleman.
Yeah.
Bowling ball. Maybe he's just a goal line back.
I mean, he's 5'8" and he's 230.
Yeah. It's like if I fucking padded up and got out there. Like
Well, he's still got a couple inches on you, I think, but
no,
our resident short king.
Short Kings Unite.
You just say the same.
In college, like I gotta like he reminds me of Doug Martin a little bit, but like way worse.
Okay.
Like discount, heavily dollar store discount, like Doug Martin. He can break tackles. He forces missed tackles. That's good. And he's man, I'm so heartbroken because he's supposed to be good in the pass blocking, but
yeah,
man, Travion Henderson was like the pass blocking running back, and that offense just expects things from rookies. I think NFL pass blocking is just it's not for rookie running backs, and
well, that's because Henderson made a joke about Rossini to Vrabel, and that's why he got benched.
Yeah. But like I don't. After seeing Henderson, I think I cared less about those pass blocking grades. Yeah, because that was his biggest trait almost. Besides outside running and speed, like agility, was the pass blocking. That didn't fucking materialize last year. So I don't care that much about that. Denver's a good landing spot just because RJ Harvey was not impressive last year. I don't like the fact that they used. I mean, they picked him in the 4th round, right, Coleman? So I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
You got J.K. Dobbins, who's frequently injured. Like, there's potential here. Don't get me wrong. But the dude's slow. I mean, he's 230 pounds. It makes sense. It's kind of big.
Yeah.
He's slow. I think he's going to be a short yardage back. It's not. He'll get touchdowns, but it's going to be right. Like you're going to get a stat line of either 3.5 points or 12.5.
12.
And then
yeah,
okay in your flex on buys, but I don't know. Not exciting, but he's okay, I guess. Katron Allen at the 2-3. I mentioned him earlier. Okay. I liked Katron. Technically did a little better than Singleton in the back half of the year, but Singleton outperformed him earlier on. Penn State had this lightning and thunder kind of approach, where Singleton was the lightning and Katron was kind of the thunder ray, the guy that drove down. He's 5'11", 215, decent size on him.
Reading this late news here, it does seem to say that Katron Allen is better than Saquon Barkley, is what this reads as. So you do that what you will, but getting Saquon Barkley at 2-3 sounds like a steal to me. I don't know what Barkley was doing at Penn State in that year, but not playing as good as Katron Allen is what I'm gathering. He doesn't have a lot to beat out. I mean, he just got to beat out Bill. And whatever other scraps of a running back room have been tied together there. They have a shot wide.
Yeah.
They lost Chris Rod, obviously the best running back in the room for the last 2 years. So it's gonna be tough to dig out of that hole, but we'll see.
Yeah, I honestly, as I'm really looking at this, minus the Coleman pick, I actually like the rest of Kinter's draft. Being honest, I think Stowers is a great pick there. I wanted Williams, so I think that's a good pick, and Katron Allen's a pretty good pick there too. So I want to make
the Stowers pick though. Let's bring that up though, because he traded into this draft because he didn't have the 2-1, right? Frank backed out of the 2-1.
Yeah.
To get a 2028 pick, right? Isn't that what?
Yep.
What is that? Is that what that was?
Yeah. 2028 first for CMC.
And I believe because he took Stowers, and I remember seeing it because right before the pick, he traded away a tight end to then turn around and draft Stowers. And I gotta give him a knock for trading into that pick. And not making Frank squirm and squeal a little bit more for having to draft somebody at the 2-1.
He traded the 2027 second, a 2028 fourth, and the 308 from this draft, Chris, not to Frank, to Chris for the 201. Chris traded for the 201 from the 201 bounced around like crazy and moved for CMC, and then it moved for the 20. I think it moved for the 205 from somebody. I'd have to look at it again. Yeah, it definitely did move for the 205 because that's where Dave ended up picking.
Yep.
Dave made a bunch of moves here. He didn't want to trade me for my 2 picks in this draft for CMC because he said that the 201 is better, and then he traded for the 2 picks in this draft that I offered him for CMC in the first one.
Well, he plussed up his value a little bit there with the move. So
continued Frank feud. Frank gave me shit for my trade out to the 1-2, or not shit, but it talked about it, and then I stupidly said, "Yeah, I should have tried to get CMC for it." And then after I said that, I went and made a bunch of trade offers for CMC, and then directly afterwards, Frank got it. I was like, "I'm never talking to this slimy little no more."
Oh
Chris would
gosh.
never slime me like that, is what I'm trying to say, but it's fine, it's whatever. I got 2 years of beating him still, so hold in. And we're both gonna be in losers bracket for a hot minute. But I sorry to turn Kinter's saying into a hate speech for Frank, but I don't know. I think he did as good as he could with how itchy he must have been to some extent.
Yeah.
I think trading up for this draft and trading a second round from 2027 into it is crazy, but he did get a 201, and there's people you guys say, like Singleton got reached for in the first is the idea. So you take that concept, someone slid back. Stowers is probably that guy.
Yeah.
These stories get knocked into the back half of the first constantly.
The context of the trade for the pick definitely does not go in Kinter's favor. Overall,
I don't mind Stowers.
The pick itself, I think, is good, but
I agree.
What he did to get it is oof.
I give him a D for Kinter.
I think Stowers has the potential, obviously, to become the tight end at Philly. I think he's got a lot of comps that are similar to Sam Laporta, whom obviously has done pretty well for the Detroit Lions. There's good usage there. I just don't like what he did to do it. That's really my
The second round pick he traded away was his own.
Yeah.
His team is.
Oh.
So it is. It's an early draft pick, and second round picks for next year are already hard to move.
Yeah. And Antonio Williams.
Yeah, I think he's got room to take over after McLaurin with Jaden Daniels as his quarterback. I think that's the ceiling there is like crazy high. It just probably isn't going to bear any fruit for a year or two.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some injuries in his sophomore year that were unfortunate. He was productive but never dominant when he played for Clemson. You'd like to see one season where dude just puts up, 1,000. That's maybe a little ambitious, but a lot of yards. You just don't really see it from him. But I see the chance, the opportunity exists. I don't like a lot of these guys. I don't see it likely, but it's there, and I think the potential is there. So I do like that aspect of it. Stowers is fine. Allen, Coleman, I honestly need to pull up behind it. I think it's humorous that our resident KKK member drafts a player with a name whom Hitler would support. Heidenreich. Die Stasi, die Heidenreich.
Right.
He played at Navy too. he was.
Oh, that's the Navy running back who managed to get out of being an officer by joining the NFL. Good for him. That's why Kinter did it. Let's pump the brakes. Hold on. That's why he did it, right? It's
gotta be.
It's gotta be. Kinter's fucking just sitting in his little corner, loving, like, looking at a picture of some fucking boat. Because I don't know if you probably don't know, Kinter's borderline autistic and loves fucking warships. So he's probably like. His Navy warship pride is in this pick.
Yeah.
Sit in the corner, like, oh yeah. His name is Heidenreich. He's in the Navy. He probably got on a boat at some point in time. Kinter fantasizes about being this man, and that's probably why he drafted him.
Kinter wants to be in a boat.
I don't know. Reading through the latest news, like I said, I didn't do a lot of scouting, and I certainly didn't do a lot of scouting for guys drafted.
He's a good running back. I'm not even gonna lie. He's the one that hit all the highlights.
He averaged 1,000 yards every year. He had a 4.44 40, fast guy. He's moving into a backfield that has questions.
Open.
Johnson is apparently the worst. Is already being considered a draft bust. I mean, it's early.
It's his second year. He's done.
They signed Rico Dowdle. They have Jalen Warren still. It's a deep place, but
I'll give you a strange statistic. All right, so for Heidenreich, receiving yards for a team's pass attempts sits at 5. There's only one other person. Sorry, that's the most in the like ever. There's only one person that gets close to him is Christian McCaffrey. Like,
who's Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, that's what we're getting at. Kinter drafted
4-3.
The next Christian McCaffrey, 100%.
The Steelers drafted the next CMC in the 7th round.
Yeah. And he's going to be 100 times more durable because he went to Navy and he's got that grit.
Yeah.
So I don't hate the pick. It's a flyer. It's a 4th round. This was like the best player at Navy. I saw his highlights and watched the Army Navy games he played in. He could do something on the Steelers. Like,
and when he gets like under a dog pile, like, that's a motivator. That's a Navy man. Like, he's gonna love that shit. He's gonna eat him right up.
So draft grade for Kinter. What are we looking at? Knowing the context of the trade to get to the 2.1, I'd give him a D or an F. But like the picks by themselves, I would give him a B for. But damn, giving up a 22nd for the 2.1 is crazy for a tight end, no less.
It was the tight end that he traded away too.
I don't see that he traded any way. He must have dropped it. He didn't trade a tight end. His only trades this year have been both with Chris. He traded Parker Washington for the 208, and then he traded the 208.
Okay.
And then he traded the 20 or traded for the 201 for as we already covered. So he traded Parker Washington and one pick from this year, 4th from the 2020.
Washington too. I like Parker Washington this year too, honestly.
An early 2nd rounder for 2027 is the projection. I mean, what do I know? Maybe JJ McCarthy and Sam Darnold just tear up the stat sheet.
Do not put the God Emperor quarterback of the United States in the same sentence as 9, please. That's disrespectful.
I'm gonna toss him a D. Like, I hate Jonah Coleman that early. I hate seeing a 4th round running back in the first. I know he had to do it because Omar Cooper. I guess I would have taken. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna stand my ground on this one. I just hate seeing 4th round running backs go in the 1st round. Like, I just.
Would you have preferred him to take Stoners?
I would have. Actually.
I would have. Yeah,
that would have been a better pick.
And
then use the
Cooper,
2.01 on something else.
Boston.
He could have taken Stowers, Williams, Allen, and Boston.
Yeah, I would take Williams too.
That could have been his draft. Instead, he took he took Coleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have. It could have been. Wow,
I would have taken
that really
over
changes
Coleman
what
too,
you
honestly.
think about, right? That could have been Omar Cooper, Stowers, Williams, and Allen. That would have been infinitely better than this. Like,
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
He could be right. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards an F now, honestly, when I think about it.
Let's do it.
Now that
Fuck
we
it.
theory crafted a little bit, it just gets
Yeah.
fucking worse.
Give him a
Sorry,
G.
Kinter, but
Give him a
man,
G for
Coleman's
free.
awful.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, we'll
Yeah.
move on to our next individual.
All right,
I think made some really interesting plays. So let's talk about Chris.
Yeah, so here we go. Let's run through his picks. So first round we have Tate, Tyson, and Lemon taking 1.3 to 1.5. Second round we have he got both bells. So he's got C Bell
Yeah,
in
he
the
does,
end of the
yeah.
second.
It threw me
and
off too.
Jacoby Lane in the second. Then he has S Bell in the third and Malachi Fields in the third. And then the 3.12 and fourth round picks, we have Randall in Baltimore, Jolly in Denver, and then who the fuck is C. Payton? Cole Payton from North Dakota State. Oh, this was the combine guy that went
Yeah.
crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Eagles got
So
tight.
yeah, so Chris took flyer on like he's gonna find a wide receiver in this draft. He's solved his wide receiver problem completely.
Cole Payton is actually an interesting pick here. I know we're skipping to the end of this draft. Maybe we'll work backwards from here. We talked the first part anyways. But reading through here, it looks like he's a running back. I don't. Am I crazy? It says he has 136 rushes for 777 yards.
Hey, he's white, bro. We don't do that. We don't do that. Okay.
I guess it is a team with Jalen Hurts, and maybe this makes some sense. Yeah, I've heard some speculation that part of the reason that Philly might have taken a guy like this was to try and get Hurts out of the goal lines. The tush push stuff for injury concerns.
All right, I can see that.
I don't know how real that is. I think it might just be. I don't know. Who knows? I think that part of the reason that Philly special works is because Jalen Hurts is the physical muscle man that he. So I don't know if that really makes sense. But
well, you're not going to get Tanner McKee in the fucking tush push. I can tell you that much right now. So
yeah.
That sounds much more plausible.
Well, honestly, I think Stowers is who really ends up doing the tush push. If we're being like real, but I digress. So that I wonder if that's a part of it. I think Stowers is there. So we're gonna work backwards. I don't know what the fuck Jolly is, but it's a fun name, so I'll take it.
And I mean, tight end in Denver is kind of open. Ingram is old. He's not going to play forever.
No, he was disappointment last year. People that took him.
Yeah. Yeah, I traded a second for him, if I remember right, and Ingram just fucked me. So
yeah.
He's a converted wide receiver, if you're not aware.
Jolly.
So those have not had a very good hit rate, but everyone likes the concept because you've got this tight end who can just who's this big guy who can catch the ball and like, he's going to be a great fantasy tight end.
He's going to match up with linebackers.
Never
and he's
work
gonna
out like
beat
that.
them.
But maybe this guy breaks the mold.
Okay, so Randall. I don't know anything about him, but Derrick Henry's there. So, it's Derrick Henry light. He's 6'2", 235 as a running back.
Yeah. I mean, this is the guy who spells.
Right, Baltimore.
Like, spells, and then whenever Henry retires, they draft the heir. But
Yeah. Okay.
I like Fields. I like Malachi Fields with this pick. I thought, it's a room that's probably where do we think the Neighbors is going to be going into
it's a compliment to Neighbors for sure, and I think that's what makes the pick work and makes it pretty valuable. So I'm with you. I don't hate this pick at all. It's a good draft spot for him.
He had a good what was it, his junior year that he put at like 800 yards. Not bad. I mean, he won him. I prefer when he puts up that yards as a freshman. This freshman year, he put up, looking at the numbers right now, he put up a whole 11 passes. Not a lot, but
it's Notre Dame too, right? Like that's where he was from. So
yeah,
you're talking about a ultra run first, ground and pound.
You're not
so
wrong. He's got good size. The potential's there. And yeah, the hope is Neighbors draws some of that, and you can feast off of where Neighbors is drawing all those corners to him instead.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Bells together. Okay, so we have C Bell and S Bell. Miami's wide receiver room, which we talked about earlier, pretty open. And I like Skylar Bell.
He's older.
I think. Say that again.
He's an older guy. I just want
Yeah.
to tell you, he's kind of took a little bit to get
He
out.
finished his college education so that he could be smart and have career
my
after
God.
football. He's big brain.
Chris was trying to move up to.
You don't go to school to play ball. Or, right.
But I like him. He played at UConn. I think that here's a good comparison. Who was the wide receiver from Texas that I didn't like a couple years ago, Dustin? That I was like, he transferred to Texas to play and did nothing. But when we looked at his history,
AD?
he played mid-major and didn't do anything either. But I can't remember who it is.
AD?
Was it Adonai Mitchell? I don't think it was.
Mitchell or Worthy, I guess, would be the other.
Oh,
Was it Worthy?
It was Worthy.
That was it's not like that was years ago. That was literally like last year.
Yeah, so
2 years, 1 year. It all blurs together when you got this many kids. Yeah, it was Worthy, and that's the difference, right? Is that I feel like.
But did you
Skylar
know he
Bell,
ran a 4.29 or whatever the fuck it was? Yeah, that did you?
Who, Worthy? No, I don't give a shit. He can be as fast as he wants to. He can't catch a fucking ball.
It was 2 years. For the record, Worthy's on his third year in the league.
Oh, okay. I'm not going crazy. All right. So yeah. So with Skylar Bell, he went to a mid-major. I think he did what he was supposed to do. Right? You play there. You're supposed to get good numbers if you're a good wide receiver, good skill position, and he got the good numbers. Late breakout age, not the greatest. But as a 3.3 pick, I don't hate this. And Buffalo's open, right? Keon Coleman's dog shit, wasted my draft pick. DJ Moore is old.
Shakir's a consistent 1,000-yard guy every year. Feels like I don't actually know if he cracked 1,000 this year.
One time he has. Shakir has one time, if I remember correctly.
Never has. I'm staring at his charts right now.
He didn't even do it. Damn.
I thought honestly that he at least got 1,000 in 2024, but no.
So
no.
I like this. I think he has a shot. It won't be this year, but it might be next year or whenever DJ Moore is done, unless Keon pulls his head out of his ass and the coaches stop hating him. But I don't see that happening. So
I think I don't know. I'm of the opinion that people give Lamar Jackson a lot of shit for not supporting a wide receiver room and then will not really give that same thing to Josh Allen when that's what it is. Like Josh Allen,
because he's on the Bills. Why would I give any benefit of the doubt to a Bill?
No, it's the opposite. I'm saying that you should give the same shit that Lamar gets for not supporting a wide receiver room.
Yeah.
That
I'll give it to him all day. Josh Allen is trash. Quote me.
Quarterbacks don't necessarily support a wide receiver room.
Let's talk about Skylar Bell because we talked trash on the fucking Bills. Like, from a perspective, he had a terrible freshman year, a good sophomore year, garbage junior year, solid senior year. Like,
yeah,
he's a very versatile player. I don't see him being a 1. That's the thing. But
no, definitely not a 1.
A 2, 3 for the Bills, fine. What does that equal to fantasy? It equals a wide receiver 3, 4 in fantasy.
3. Yeah.
That's okay. It's okay. I think you're drafting someone who's going to be a bye week player or like fill the role while you need one. Hopefully you don't want to put him in that wide receiver 3 spot, but if you got to, he might do the job. I think he's interesting. I like Chris Bell a little more. The injury is the biggest concern, but a lot of folks think that if he wasn't injured, he might have been a first-round talent, especially in this draft. So, dude's big. He's 6'2", 220 pounds or something like that. I kind of like the idea of the Dolphins taking a swing on this dude. He's not going to play this year, or at least I don't think he will. And that's okay because the Dolphins don't want him to pretty much
Oh, they're
anyways.
gonna be
Anyways, like
trash.
they want to
Yeah.
be bad, even though they fucking paid A-Chain.
And Malik.
I think I like this. I like Chris Bell a lot, actually. I think Chris Bell went late. I think taking Chris Bell where he did
Yeah. Good
was
move.
really good for him, and it works great for what he wants to accomplish too. I don't know if he has his own pick next year, but if he doesn't, this plays in well.
He doesn't.
Because
Frank has it.
of course Frank has it.
Even if he did,
Fucking
exactly.
Christ.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah,
Chris
that's true.
traded
That's
for-
true with the trade, but
Yeah.
I do like it overall for team building. So I'm a big fan of those picks. Let's
Yeah.
look at his
Jacoby.
first round picks.
Do we want to talk about Jacoby Lane? I don't.
I think
Baltimore.
I don't think
Like,
anything that's been said about Jacoby Lane is any different than what was said about Elijah Star. In terms of landing spot,
yeah, agreed.
don't talk about the prospects. I can. Obviously.
Yeah.
I
But-
think Jacoby Lane is going to be very much the same kind of player that Skylar Bell is.
Agreed. Which I mean, that's fine. 2.11. Cool.
Yeah,
First round wide receivers. Man, I like.
took them all. I mean,
He took
it's
them
funny.
all.
We don't really need to say
took
much,
them
right?
all.
Because like I think a lot of people when they do this kind of shit, they're like, okay, guys,
Oh, for sure.
do you like Tyson more? Do you like Tate more? Do you like Len more? Chris was like, fuck it. I'll just take all three. Who fucking
Yeah.
knows? But I'm going to figure it out.
That's like you in 2024, right? Oh, MH.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison or Neighbors. Oh, fuck it. Give me them both. Oh, Harrison, Neighbors, and Daniels. I'll take.
Where do
all
you
three.
guys think that these three guys fall? If obviously we're being delusional, but in a world where you were combining this year's draft and next year's draft, where did these three guys
This
land?
year's and next year's?
Right. Where
Okay.
is what he traded? He traded the 2026 or 2027 first.
Lemon's second best. Lemon's second best between both classes. Trust, bro. Lemon is so fucking good.
Those are
And
Jared and then Lemon to you.
I
don't like Lemon
very much.
I know Dustin doesn't like him at all. I
Yeah.
love Lemon. He's so fucking good. Bro just likes to ball. Okay, catches it, yards after catch, effort, bro, all day. Lemon's second best between both classes, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I've heard people talk to Tyson. I like Tyson. Prospect wise, he's got some injury stuff, obviously, but if you just look at tape, looks like a
Yeah.
monster. Is how it's always been presented. He's someone that the Chiefs were mocked a lot to. Someone else I watched. His highlight reel is insane.
I think they're different players in a lot of different ways. Tyson, I think, is theoretically could be the best player. When you
He's
look
a
at Tyson, you've got someone who hits a lot of things you want, right? He has good size. That's great and all. He's got, as a freshman, he only played 9 games and he got injured, but dude led his entire team despite missing those games. Goes to show that even as a freshman, he can be competition. Now it's Colorado, so like smack an asterisk on it, right? But he's truly one of the best wide receivers we've seen for like when he broke out as a player. The problem is the injury history, and I don't it's bad. I'm not a big fan of smacking on injury prone players because you're injury prone until you're not, and then you injury prone, and then forever until you aren't, and you've make that thing up, and I don't really like believing in it too much. But he's got good draft capital. The landing spots, I'm not a big fan of the quarterback, but I mean, head coach's got potential. I like Olave more as a player, but you know, how many concussions does Olave have at this point?
Right.
The Saints' whole fucking wide receiver room now is gonna be in a fucking medical tent all fucking season. But,
it's sad because it's true.
You know, I think he has the most potential. I personally kind of liked Carnell Tate more. You've seen Carnell Tate, even though he's never been the number one producer, consistently prove against so many top tier wide receivers. Marvin Harrison having a big asterisk next to his name, obviously. In college, he was truly amazing. In the NFL, he's disappointed significantly. But if you didn't
Tate's
call him Marvin
floor is
Harrison
so high.
and you drafted him at the end of the first, I think people would be like, oh, this Marvin dude, he's not too bad. But he's fucking Marvin Harrison Jr. and he was drafted 104 or whatever it was. Like, the expectations are sky high. He's not meeting them. The idea thought process is, if Marvin is moving this way, Cardinal Tate could never perform to Marvin's level, so Cardinal Tate can't be as good as Marvin, right? But we saw that play out with JSN, and
yeah,
JSN's clearly doing fine. I like the Tennessee landing spot. I know people don't like the quarterback there, but looking at like the Casey Concepcion kind of comparisons of this wide receiver, this is wide open. I think Tate's going to walk in and very well like be a ton of volume, and that matters for when we look at how successful they are as rookies. He's gonna. I think it's. I think Tate's probably my 1, Tyson's my 2, Lemon's on a whole different tier for me. That's why I say I would take Simpson at the 1.5 over Lemon, because I see a lot of Amon-Ra comparisons to Lemon, and obviously you think that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Because Amon-Ra obviously is one of the best wide receivers in the league.
Fantastic.
Right. We've seen this archetype so many times, and it just doesn't work out a lot of times.
Yeah, I've been in the league. Amon-Ra, safe round, like kind of hater, mildly. From my perspective,
you and everyone else don't trust me.
Yeah. Most Amon is that he's
all my homies hate Amon-Ra.
Absurdly smart. Like from my perspective, he's like a very smart guy. When I listen to him talk, that's something that's come across. I'd probably blurring a lot of shit together that I've watched because those were on a podcast, which is an objectively stupid thing to do. But here we are, so what the fuck am I to say? So I don't know. I don't know where Mackay, from that perspective, is. Is he like recognized as being a super good ball knower? Like, does he know where everybody is on the field at all times?
The problem with Mackay is that, I mean,
these are for grading the draft. If we're not going to talk about like grading the NFL draft or where these guys actually went, grading the draft, Chris did great here. He took the guys that were supposed to have gone.
Yeah.
He got Tyson, who does have a Chipotle deal, so he's essentially a lock.
Chris loves Chipotle too, so that
exactly.
That probably helps.
So maybe he just wants to be able to log into Chipotle's app and see his wide receiver. So,
I just don't.
He's
a middle of the field guy too, and Hurts doesn't target the middle of the field. There's just. Will they? Philly clearly knows how to draft, and maybe their intention is next year they're going to target more of the field, and they have plans and ambitions. You just don't see it as much now, and I can see the potential. I don't like him being in Philly by a lot, and obviously we expected Lemon to possibly be earlier, and instead he's
should have been a Jet.
Well.
Man. You really would have preferred. Yeah, do you actually think you should have taken Ty Simpson at one time? Or you're saying?
I think so. That would make the most sense, hands down. You got a quarterback that's going to be a lock for 10 to 15 years. That's if. Well, here's the thing.
Like we're all just confident the Ty is going to be.
No, but you've got a
better chance.
I think the
odds are in your favor.
Yeah, I think you're looking at this from an NFL perspective, Devon, and that's fair. As an NFL fan, a lot of NFL fans look at it like, they fucking took a quarterback there. That guy's fucking garbage. That's terrible. He's like, and I totally get that because But how many times do we go back and look at? We make jokes about it, right? Like go back and look at YouTube and look at all people reacting to Pat Mahomes being drafted like 11th overall. Because the Chiefs traded up for him and everything. Like, that shit exists. And do I think Ty Simpson is the next greatest quarterback? I don't. I mean, I saw how he played in Alabama. I wasn't impressed. But I have to respect that the organization that has good coaches drafted a quarterback that early. It's just, I think, something you got to respect. And even though you might not think he succeeds, the potential that he does is just such a huge payoff. Because, like, even though I generally believe that you should draft best player when it comes to these rookie drafts within tiers.
Especially in the first, right?
Yeah, especially with the first. And when I look at this, I just don't think Mackay, do I think Ty Simpson hits more likely than Lemon? No, I think Lemon probably is a better NFL player than Ty Simpson. Just because I don't believe a lot in Ty Simpson, but with the potential of McVay, before we got landing spots and with Lambo, seeing him in the first with McVay, with the Rams, good wide receivers, good line, all these things set to succeed. I mean, I take him over Lemon. I think the only players that I think are truly likely to make an impact on my roster more than him would be Tyson, Tate, Mendoza, and Love. So yeah, I would take him there. Now, I think Chris, looking at his roster right now, he's got Jordan Love.
He's not touching quarterback yet.
Malik Willis, yeah.
In some
But
ways,
he's got
taking a quarterback
Peyton
is
and
not
Brissett. I would have taken Simpson there. I would have taken Tate, Tyson, Simpson. That's how I would have finished out. Lemon's not a bad pick, but especially with Dynasty, where my approach to Dynasty has always been quarterbacks need to be figured out first before you do any other position. Get your quarterbacks figured out.
I like to wing quarterback later.
Right, and not everyone has that opinion. But that's how I approached it. You can look at the way I set up my team, right? I genuinely believe quarterbacks need to be the core of my roster, and that's a great spot. He's trying to rebuild his team. Take Ty Simpson. Hope that in a year or two, when Stafford, retires to go get his Hall of Fame coat in a couple years.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson's your guy, and McVay stays, and he doesn't retire.
Yeah.
So
if I was Chris, I would have taken Tate, Lemon, and Simpson. I would have just skipped Tyson because the injuries. That scares me off so badly that I wouldn't draft Tyson at all unless he fell to the second.
I like Tyson. I think I'd probably sit more on the Tate Tyson over Lemon situation myself. All in all, I like Chris, so I'm going to give him a B, but I would probably. So
Alright.
I give him a B too.
Yeah, I do believe that Tate Tyson Simpson was the pick, especially as quarterback. But I'm trying to convince Chris to come to England, and he's fucking bailing on me. So if I give you a B on this, will you fucking fly out and just grab dinner with me or some shit, man? All right, this all changes if you don't. We go back to you get a D or some shit, I guess. Yeah. Got to live up to my name, being corrupt.
Factor in the. I don't like that he traded it first for next year. Let's move on. But
I do.
As a guy, fuck ton of these wide receivers last year. I do get the idea of just take the handful.
Yeah.
Whatever works out from it is profit.
Because I look at these things by teardrops, and originally I hated this trade on his part, but I've given it some thought more. And sure, 27th in class is great, but you move up to get into the tiers you like, and then you don't get the extra 27 pick.
He completely avoided that teardrop.
Yes,
he got 3.
He literally got exactly where the teardrop is. So I like it. I'll give him the B, and the I think would have gotten the A for me is if he would have taken Simpson over Lemon.
Yeah. Well, Simpson
but which means that Derek here should give him the A. Although you're not a fan of Tyson, I guess. So
Yeah, I'm at a B because of Tyson. That's the big thing. But I see the wide receiver swings.
Yeah.
And
arguably 3 of the top 5 guys in this draft.
Yeah.
Which will then take us to an interesting when it comes to grading. Franklin Tran, who has taken the 101 4 years. I guess technically he traded out of it last year. I don't want to talk about that.
I would
but let's talk about it. So Frank had 1 pick, let's be honest, and it was Jeremiah Love, and that was it.
In some weird way, I actually think the Mike Washington pick is interesting too. Washington's a guy that I like
he's got the handcuff,
pre-landing spot. I like Washington. He's fast.
Do we think Kubiak runs more of a committee and only gives GT 70% of the snaps or so, and Washington actually gets some volume?
I think he'll get.
I think that would be dumb as hell to do, but
they did reinforce their line. So I mean, I think Genti's going to be in remotely the same situation that he was in last year. I don't remember who they knew grabbing Washington.
Oh, they got the center from Baltimore. They paid him a
They got
fuckload.
multiple linemen.
Yeah, they got 3.
Oakland
I
went
think.
hard in the paint on free agents this year.
Yeah.
I was hype on Oakland coming into last year, hoping that a veteran coach with Pete Carroll would be good. But obviously, his Nepo hire for the OC coach was a failure. Pete wasn't good enough for the team. I'm finding myself still being high and optimistic on Oakland again this year. I like a lot of their moves. I'm a little iffy on the head coach. I'm not sure if I really like the Seattle's old OC as their head coach, but like the guy won a Super Bowl, so like something's got to be said about that, right?
And he was a top target.
He was
even before last year started.
Absolutely.
Right?
So I'm finding myself pretty optimistic with the Raiders again, and it fucking sucks. But you know, Kubiak was a guy who I was so, man, you can ask Derek, I was so fucking pumped for Kenny Walker last year because I loved Kenny Walker in that scheme. Based off how Kubiak's run scheme works, generally speaking, outside running backs really feast on there, and I really thought Kubiak would just hand the ball to the proper good running back and just he'd feast, and that did not turn out the way I thought it would. Kubiak's known as a good running scheme or OC. I'm really hoping that Genty can doing that. I think Devon is a Raiders hater, and he will just wish them the utmost failure in their endeavors, and I think that he's going to speak ill no matter what. But
he should be back, get injured or some shit. They played and got the 101. Like they
tried their hardest and got it anyway.
Pete Carroll's job in place and couldn't do it. Like this wasn't a team that was trying to lose. I mean, they were eventually. Like I don't know if they walked into the game trying to lose. Right?
I think the last few games they were trying to lose, but yeah, they were genuinely trying to win for a while. Yeah, and they earned the 1-1. But if you watch that game, oh my god, it was so painful watching the Raiders. How many times did I watch Geno Smith just like Janty was in the flat, no one near him, and Geno was like, "Fuck it, I'm throwing bombs."
We going downfield.
It just
with no receivers. They traded away Jacoby Myers.
Fuck it, Brock's down there, triple covered somewhere. Just toss it.
Wasn't it stat line that like Jacoby Myers was in the league players like 6 weeks after he was traded?
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like when they traded him away, they kind of knew they were tanking.
Yeah.
Because he was a genuinely good wide receiver, and you can see it with the Jags, right? Like,
yeah, I think Love's the best player in the draft by a mile. The only reason I hung on to the 102 for a little while was like this kind of ridiculous thought that maybe Frank reaches on Mendoza. And talking to like 2 people, they're like, he's taking Love, and he's been scouting him since middle school. He's like he's been talking about the Jeremiah.
Frank delivered Jeremiah Love. He was there in the hospital when he was born and has been keeping up with him since then. No. Love was a lock for a while.
Franklin
Love's
Tran.
a good pick.
Go ahead, Derek.
I don't think
talk
he's
shit
gonna
Frank
be
in a
as.
second. But...
I think Love's gonna be good. Do I think Love's gonna be top 5 running back? Nah.
How do you feel? Do you think Arizona is worse for Love than Tennessee would have been?
Yes, definitively. But I don't think that the difference between them is gonna be that big.
Astronomical. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be an astronomical difference. It makes sense, right? So like even if we theory craft this, Cardinals don't take him, the Titans take Love, they're still going to use their next best pick on a wide receiver or make a move to move up for wide receiver because of Ward needs someone to throw to, and Ridley's fucking not it.
But Love is also someone that gets thrown to, right? Like, he's also an amazing pass catching. He's more of a CMC type mold than Derrick Henry.
For sure. It would have been. It still would have been good. I think it's maybe like a 10% fantasy point difference, tops. So I'm not as low on the landing spot as a lot of other people were.
I'm kind of low on it. And it's mostly because of what Arizona's done. Like, we're looking at a pretty incompetent football organization, but look at their moves. Like,
They look perfectly
required
fine. What are you
running back
talking
free
about?
agents that screamed, "We're not taking a running back." And then they fucking got around to it, and out of nowhere, the past 3 weeks leading up to the draft, all of a sudden it was Jeremiah Love to the Cardinals, and everyone was like, "Why? They just fucking signed some running backs. That doesn't make any sense. Like, let's focus on something else and let running back be a luxury pick." But NFL teams that are poorly ran continue to prove that they don't know what they're doing, and they take a running back early. I mean, the Raiders, I think they're getting better as an organization, but taking Ashton Genty, everyone knew it was going to happen, but just it's proven that it wasn't wise on their part.
I've had this debate a lot this year. I think I stand on the opposite end of this. I think that earlier you said that the first thing you should figure out is a quarterback. I think there's some truth to that. I think that the flip side is that the most efficient way with one player to improve your entire team's offense is a running back. I think that a top running back can change the way that your entire team plays. That it opens up your situation for your quarterback and makes your line be able to defend in a different way. I'm not going to make this one. I do think that it's something that people talk about in general. Running backs, top tier running back is the first position most NFL players ever play.
Yeah.
Like it's the situation where you get the ball the most after a quarterback. And if your quarterback is trash, you're never going to get the ball more than a quarterback. But your impact on a game is if your quarterback's not the thing you can have done, running back I think is the second best thing you can do. I obviously I love the building out the trenches strategy. I don't think we're in the world talks that up, but people miss on O-line picks all the time. And when is the last time someone missed on the top running back prospect of the NFL?
That is one thing to be said.
Eddie Lacy.
I mean, Lacy had a couple years until he got fat. I mean,
you sound
Lacy
like a fan of a team that hasn't fixed their running back position, Devon. That's what you sound like to me.
We win the first Super Bowl if Kareem Hunt doesn't allegedly kick that girl.
Oh my God, we're not even touching that one. I think from a fantasy perspective, Jeremiah Love is good.
Yeah.
Like, running backs taking this early hit in the first couple of years. Genty is the first one that really didn't, and I think we're looking at a rookie year.
That's a rough evaluation.
I'm talking from like a top 10 running back, like guys that deliver 18 points a game. Genty technically got below that. I think he averaged like 17 or something like that. Like, I think we'll see it in the sophomore year regardless. Like, guys that get taken in the top half of the first as running backs, they hit like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
It's a good pick. Frank needs a running back. It's a boring pick. I can't give him an A because he did what he was supposed to do. He did the running back. He did the 101. Like, I remember when we did this shit in 2024. I did my last rookie review, and you guys gave me shit after that. Not doing one after that, but as much as I thought my draft was great, I did a lot of what I was supposed to fucking do. Like, I took Neighbors because that's who fucking was there. I took Marvin Harrison because that's who was there. I took Jaden Daniels. I could have taken, I guess I could have taken different the quarterback, or I could have taken Rome. But ultimately, at the end, I think that he did what he's supposed to do. He got the running back. He desperately needs a running back. He's finally going to have a running back for the first time in 3 years that's actually decent in the spot. I think Jeremiah Love is going to get vultured, and Frank's going to be heavily annoyed by
welcome
by Tyler Algier.
His player's not
his goal's not to score. Getting vultured is fine.
Like, honestly, I think if Love has the year Genty had, which I think there's more to this. Obviously, Genty was fine. Genty was getting put into a bad situation, and I think at some point the Raiders realized that putting all those touches on Genty for a year that they didn't want to win was a bad idea. So I don't think it made sense to put the miles on him with getting hit in some of the ways that he was getting hit earlier on in the year. So, there's a strategy to the way Genty was there, and I don't think that the team was playing to maximize his fantasy potential in any sort of capacity. Love might be in a similar spot this year.
I think so too. I really do.
that might be the best scenario.
He says that too, which like you gotta realize this man. Franklin Tran was the best man at my wedding. We've known each other since college. He was my one of my wife's good friends from high school. So I've known this man for a very long time. We talk every day pretty much. I swear to God, I am so fucking annoyed of hearing how much he wants to glaze Jeremiah Love.
I was about
mean,
to say, are you more frustrated by
which Jeremiah?
Love or Jeremiah
Smith?
Smith?
100% Smith. It's not even fucking close. Love, man, this man was beating Jeremiah Smith's dick when he was still like in diapers. Like, oh my God. Love makes. I mean, I don't love from like a running back perspective. Frank will probably accuse me of being a hater. I don't think I am, but like I don't think he's as good as Genty or Bijan or a few other running backs. But I do think he's in the bottom of that tier, right? Like I think there's a tier break, and Love's probably just above that tier break of
like
truly elite running backs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Love's a good running back. He's got all of the things you want in a good running back. He's a fine pick. I don't think Arizona should have made it, but that's neither what happens. What happened? They'll make it work. He's going to be disappointed probably by getting vultured, but that's just how the NFL works now. But yeah, the Jeremiah Smith thing, I just want to fucking deep throat a shotgun every time it comes out. I really do. Anyways, we'll touch on that another time. We've ran plenty. Yeah, any final thoughts going into leaving the draft for that matter? And we'll talk more during the season and then its history and whatnot. But just for the rookie draft, any final thoughts on how this all played out?
If you drafted 3 or less players, you get an A, apparently. And if you drafted any more than 4 players, you have at most a B.
No, running backs were rough, man. But that's kind of why I think you and I, Dustin, have taken the strategy we have regarding running backs. We hoarded them from the last good running back class for the next 2 years, if we're being 100% honest. So
PPR league too.
Yep.
The 0 PPR league you were talking about the league starting in. I mean, I was in the 0 PPR league, and yeah, if you didn't take the best running backs, you're an absolute clown. I mean, there's no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this. Then go ahead, Devon.
No, I was gonna say in my head, I obviously I wasn't very high on the draft, so I didn't watch a ton of the tape, because I wasn't high on the draft, and I knew wasn't gonna have that many picks.
Yeah.
So I don't have a ton to say perspective, but
I think really you just saw Frank being so helpful, recommending you not get involved in this draft, and decide, you know what a good friend. He's got a valid point. I should just back out of this draft, and followed through.
Yeah, he just makes a lot of sense. That guy. He's made really good fantasy decisions so far. So when someone like that with that sort of standing in this league makes a statement, you just have to follow that lead.
I think it played out. I wouldn't say as expected, but I do think the league got
pretty close.
I think it did. I think it got clever on this being not the greatest draft a little late. And I'm curious if that starts to change over time. I think people started thinking, oh, 26 class isn't that great when it was the off season, and I'm curious if going into next year, people start to look a little more ahead and be like, oh fuck, 2026 sucked. Is 2027 going to be better? And I think we already see it. I think people are going to start hoarding 2027 picks. I think
I
that
don't think
too late.
Yeah, I mean Frank's already got like 5 or 6, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get them back. I think it's going to be.
Frank will wise up when he sees how close his running back room is, and he's gonna trade me for Bijan.
He's just gonna sell Jeremiah Lowe so he can tank an extra 3 more years. God,
please
that's
don't
painful to say.
Don't put my worst nightmare out into the universe, please.
But we'll see how this. I think it was kind of. I wouldn't say it was boring because I think a lot of things happened pre-draft. Once it started happening, things kind of were chalk. And I think Kinter picks Stowers because he wants to keep the meme alive. If I'm being forthright, and that was my cat that just knocked some shit down. I think he literally was like, oh, fuck it, you guys call me the tight end, dude. I'm just gonna pick a fucking tight end, 'cause that's who I am. Maybe not, I don't know, but overall it was pretty chalk.
Now, if only we can convince Justin to be the kicker guy, then we might have a chance.
Where do we? Well,
man.
I guess we can talk about where we think people are gonna end up next month when we do this, whenever that's gonna be. You know how this
Yeah.
falls out. But we're looking at this next year, and then we'll talk about.
Because next month we should be done with first round of OTAs, right? I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, we should be
Yeah.
done with
Alright.
OTAs, and
I know we have gone very long. My question is, how much time are you guys willing to burn out on DST?
let's. Yeah, I'll talk to you offline.
Zero
about
seconds
that.
today.
Damn, I tried.
You can run a little blurb on it. We can talk about league changes too. I think we did the one that we had to do for the draft, and the one I was pretty passionate about, which was the making the league more competitive, because I think it's really important for the health of the league. The DST thing.
Yeah.
It's trying to make it better for the sake of being better, but the results being similar regardless. I'm okay with that, but it's going to require a lot of explaining. And this is probably the avenue to do it, right? When we can talk about these things and people can hear and understand it, as opposed to just reading text, which most people probably look at that thread, see a lot of information, and say, fuck it, I don't want to read that shit. Yeah, right, yeah.
Not part of my fantasy league.
Yeah,
reading and math.
It's really complicated. I try to make charts and stuff, but that didn't make it any easier. It's a complicated thing to try and push through with people that don't want to either read or read a bunch of stats.
No,
which
I
is
get
why
that.
you should read it to me.
Yeah, I've seen that play out before. Just trust me, it'll be fine.
Never seen that thing.
Yeah, I definitely haven't seen that play out before.
I take full responsibility for every rank you've earned since I've worked with you. So.
But I appreciate y'all joining me today, and we'll get this uploaded somewhere. I don't fucking know where. We'll figure it out, and meet up sometime next month, I guess. This is y'all's commissioner signing off. I appreciate y'all, and maybe next time we'll have some clever ad reads and more air horns to play. Send us off, Devon.
I have a local smoke.
Someone played the air horn. I thought it was you, honestly. Was that Giancarlo's playing?
I think it was Giancarlo.
Wow, we had fucking finish literally sitting there. Editor sitting in the room with us playing noises. Hold on. Soundboard here. Oh, here we go. Air horn. There we go.
Oh, nice. All right, guys. Talk to you next month.